the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
I gotta get a witness. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
That's true.
Sometimes I cry.
Oh! Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast, episode 743. Yeah, here we are once again. Oh, shit, there's double Scott.
That's
double
never
Scott.
bad.
I don't know how that
Can we
happened.
get a few more Scotts?
Oh, he's
How
gone.
many Scotts? Let's set the Scott record.
1,000
Scott,
Scots.
Your camera looks so much better now.
Is it a little better?
Yeah, so
I miss I miss my Bin Laden cave vibe though.
I am being.
You've got the Bin Laden cave beard and hair.
I do have the rest, so that I'm gonna keep.
I'm being treated well.
Is that a fisheye lens?
Everything is good.
He does have a fisheye lens. He's like a corn video. What's
Yeah.
with the lens?
I look. I don't know, man. I don't know how shit.
Is it a
works.
GoPro?
It
Just tell
is
us
what
you
it
want
is.
a GoPro.
Is it a
Can you buy
GoPro?
GoPro?
One in
It
the
is not a
chat if it's a GoPro.
It's blink twice if you're safe. No,
It's
no,
like
that's
the
a
pavement
webcam.
music video. Cut your hair, which you do need to do.
No, it's a good hair.
no, it's
Yeah, it's a good hair. We like this hair. And for those of you that want to read Asterios' shirt, you can go to his Patreon, and he might post the shirt there. I don't know. It's possible.
Patreon.com/Asterios over here. Fun website. What's up, kids? How you doing?
Are you
got a
gonna
monster?
Are you gonna chug a monster?
Oh, damn. He's hitting it hard.
Go,
He's
go,
working with a
go.
monster.
Damn.
This
Chug,
comes
chug,
back to
chug,
haunt
chug,
you
chug,
later.
chug, chug, chug.
Chug. The chug life chose Asterios. Yes, my
Let's
guy,
party!
maniac,
I'm 37 years old and I'm divorced.
You
maniac.
are so gonna pay for that. That's gonna ruin your night.
Comedy juice. Come on, Zingo Zango.
Your night's gonna be horrible now.
Yeah, for the
So
rest
I got
of the night.
I got follow-up questions about that monster. What kind of monster was that? What are we dealing with?
I'm a boomer. White Monster energy drink.
Oh, white monster.
Why's it gotta be white?
Interesting.
It's the white devil.
Very interesting, Asterios. No black monster energy was available, or you saw it and ignored it, or where you stand on black monster?
Originally I bought it for the meme. Because it's like, oh, the 35-year-old boomer, he drinks the White Monster energy drink. So I bought it for the meme, but then it's like, oh no, I unironically like the taste of White
But
Monster.
also for the races.
Yeah.
Is that the sugar-free one or
Yes,
not?
10
Okay,
calories. But the
I
thing is,
disapprove.
it gives me an even high like nothing else. Coffee is too much of an upper, Diet Coke too. It's like, something about White Monster energy drink works with my middle-aged man chemistry. It's like perfect.
I'm glad you found what works for you.
Body
Yeah,
built
look,
by
it took a
Monster.
while, but I did it.
I personally congratulate you, Asterios, for not succumbing to the black monster.
Wow, that sounds so wrong.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You're good.
I'm
You're
tone
You're
deaf.
fine.
Yeah.
Cool. How's your week, boys? What's going on?
It's going okay. Tomorrow we have Actual Mania 9, which we're excited about, which everyone saw the intro from.
It's the first ever tournament. An
I
actual
am coming
General
from an
elimination.
early afternoon blackout. I'm coming out of the blackout right now.
It's so funny to me. I like don't think of being blackout drunk in the morning.
Oh, dude, that's my game. That's my jam.
Ben, I
I'm
want to
something
know
of an
more.
expert.
I want to know more about why you went so hard on like a Thursday afternoon. Are you running from something or towards something?
Ooh,
From.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about? It's
No,
okay.
not.
we're here.
I think I'll
Okay.
reserve that for my psychologist
Yeah,
later.
they were
on.
reading the menu, and it said blackened chicken, and Ben was like, "I'll have the blackout."
I'll have the black part,
I'll
not
have
the
blackout.
chicken.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I
Oh,
got
there
I
you
have a
go.
smattering of undergraduate psychology. We can do this.
I
right
want
now.
to simultaneously laugh and cry at the same time.
We won't push you. It's not one of
Oh, my
those
God.
shows. I hate those shows where everyone's like, open up. No,
Yeah.
you talk with
Say
your...
the thing you don't want to say. Talk about stuff you're uncomfortable with.
Yes, exactly. Drama. Give us the
I love.
drama.
All right, I just want to. I want Scott to know something because he's done so many shows with you. Asterios, how many millions of dollars were you sued for?
370.
That's a lot of
Let
millions
the
of
tip
dollars.
train begin,
He was.
motherfuckers.
He was sued. Yeah, he was sued for $370 million for calling someone a cuck.
Well, look. All that happened was
Was it one of the Rothschilds?
all I did was I called someone a cuck hundreds of times to the tunes of various royalty-free Christmas carols that I stole from a Christian website, resulting in an album I recorded in 24 hours that debuted at number 7 on
It
the
charted.
Billboard chart for 3 weeks. That's all I did. And this guy got upset and sued me for $370 million. But I'll tell him who's had the last laugh. Probably him. I had to spend a lot of money on a lawyer. But whatever. At least I didn't sue somebody for calling me bad names.
So
But
was
then-
it $1 for every time you called him a cuck?
Yeah.
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 It was
That's not
fun.
bad. If you prorate it down, it's not that bad.
Exactly. What's freedom of speech worth? $40,000 worth of legal bills? Potato.
It's $1 a cuck. It's
Yeah.
like a swear jar.
Whatever.
370 million cucks equals 370 million bucks. That's
Yeah, exactly. Bucks for
law.
cucks.
yeah,
We're calling it.
yeah.
Look,
You know, the funny thing
Fun with-
now is the guy who sued you, I won't mention his name, but anytime I hang out with someone that me and him both know, he DMs them and tells them that I doxed him at one point.
yeah. He's like this. The guy's a little wiener. He's like a little wiener. Like
He's you might even say he's a cuck.
well, one might. Exactly. It's just like
Better not say
it
that 369 million more times, though.
It just makes me sad that like there's someone out there who's just like he's so butthurt and his butt won't stop hurting and his butt hurts all day and he goes to bed and then he wakes up and he's like my butt's still
There's the butt again with the hurting.
exactly. He's like I better try to mess with a guy named BENPAI. Which
Yes.
rhymes with Sweetie Pie. It's like don't mess with a little Sweetie Pie. Billy's a good boy.
Well, him and I
God-
are actually on good terms.
You're on good
Yeah,
terms
don't
with
mess
all
with
the
us.
horrible people of the internet.
I'm on good terms with everybody ever. The only people that don't like me are people that haven't met me yet, and they'll learn.
Can't wait till the pendulum swings the other way on you and it just all
it'll
comes
happen.
fucking crashing down. It's gonna be so good.
Fuck
It's
it.
gonna be so good.
It will happen.
I've had my day in the sun.
It's just, but it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want none, there won't be none. It's like,
But I heard if you want some, come get some. Is there any
yes,
truth to that?
obviously, yes. Look, yes.
I
Clearly,
heard if you
talk
want it,
and
come and get it, but you better hurry because it's going fast.
Oh shit!
obviously,
I also heard that if you don't use it, you lose it.
Well, shit.
It's hip to
Damn.
be square.
This is so confusing. This is why we should only sing Christmas songs about people being a cuck.
Here we
Rights-free Christmas song.
go. Speaking of cuck,
Oh, don't touch me. Don't touch me. TP, are they going to touch me?
so we have to talk about this. Everyone here is a wrestling fan. Jim Cornette.
yeah.
Especially Asterios.
Jim Cornette was accused of some weird stuff, and I wanna bring up the accuser part first before we bring up Jim Cornette's
This
explanation.
is AKI Evolution. He's from the old video game.
Yeah.
AKI Man.
yeah,
Oh, is
yeah,
it
yeah.
AKI Man?
I think this is
Oh.
AKI Man is accusing Jim Cornette of
Oh,
some.
that's a cool move.
Yeah,
He's
he
got a
doesn't even
double
put his
dragon
okay.
screw. He's
If you want to accuse someone of something that you're trying to ruin their career for, you can't use a fake name. Like
True.
that's That's like a drive-by shooting, right? Like you're just driving by and spraying bullets.
I don't know.
Anonymously.
AKI Evolution was molested by the Cornettes.
Dude, you know what? Jim Cornette, we'll cover it, but Jim Cornette doesn't deny having people over at his house to have fun with him and his wife. Whatever.
No, they're swingers. He's kind of a cuck, but like that's not illegal or like a bad.
It's illegal.
Thing. Okay, it's illegal. All right.
It's not worth suing someone for $370 million over that.
Well, then, R.I.P. Simon Cowell. What happened to Simon?
Did Simon Cowell get?
So here's the story right here. Billy will read through it a little bit here.
Did Simon Cowell die? Yeah, well, hold up. This is on the side here.
He got canceled.
So
I'll look it up. He probably
so this guy claims to be an OVW trainee here. And I think Jim did confirm this.
So he never said who he was publicly?
I think later on it was brought to light.
Okay.
It's Dave Bautista.
In the face of current events, I feel the need to clarify and speak up. During my first year in the business, his wife, Stacy, attempted to groom me.
Groom gets thrown around so much.
She approached via DM, sent me lewd photos I never asked for, implied protection from the Kentucky Commission, stating he was a family friend, and told me she was going to fuck me as if I didn't have a choice. My experience with them is tame compared to others, though. When Jim was booking at OVW, if you wanted a contract or on his show, you had to perform sexual acts on his wife, many times with him watching. This has happened for many, many people. A close friend of mine was groomed and basically brainwashed by them for years. When he finally escaped, Stacy went to great lengths to not only terrorize him, but to actively try to have other wrestlers physically assault him. I was one of them. She sent me pictures, shows tires of his he's slashed, and bragging about setting him up to lose his job, his apartment, even his car. All because he escaped an extremely toxic relationship and didn't want anything to do with them. Stacy bragged about being able to call the Kentucky Commission to give him targets. He was a family friend, and if she wanted, she could turn his attention to anyone licensed in the state to potentially hurt and sometimes even ruin their
That's something we
careers.
have to put out there. Years ago, pro wrestlers had to be licensed in every state they performed in because it was kayfabe in the days of like 24-hour kayfabe. It was a sport. You had to pretend like it was a real sport, and you were kayfabing even to the government in every state you went to.
Which is so fucking stupid.
But some states still have it.
They still do. It's nuts.
Have you had to get licensed?
It's like having to get licensed for dancing.
Oh, of course.
It's the same thing. Sorry, what'd you ask?
Have you ever had to be licensed, or is it like you just do a guerrilla?
No, Washington's weird. They basically some of the guys who are behind 321 like basically fixed how Washington licensing works, and like now you don't need one. So
they fought the law, and it used to be super strict. It still is kind of strict on a certain level, I believe, but it's loosened up on the lower level, the more independent.
It's way
level.
loosened up, yeah. And some states are ridiculous.
Yeah. Stacy bragged about being able to call and ruin careers. When he says cult of Cornette, it's because he has a history of taking advantage of greenhorns, using his power and position as booker for OVW in order to fulfill his and his wife's sexual desires. They use their place of power to hurt many, many people. No one wants to speak up because of his position in wrestling, but this is extremely common knowledge among OVW
So does this
alumni.
mean John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista fucked his wife the best?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
they're
what I'm
the
saying.
best fuckers.
Well,
Right.
I mean, remember when Cena went on Howard Stern and talked about fucking that big fat lady?
Right. In an airport, he said they had like him and the other boys had a contest who could find the fatter woman.
At the
And
airport.
wouldn't you know it? They happened to know they happened to know one that was related to the booker.
It's great when things work out.
They found that huge woman at the airport, and then they made the joke as she was.
He was
on
like,
the
I
airplane.
broke the 250 mark, is what he said.
When she was on the airplane flying away, John Cena pointed up and said, "Swine flu."
The swine flu.
The swine flu because she was in the airport.
Wouldn't you
flying,
know it?
and she
I've
was a
been
pig.
Say it one more time just so everyone gets
Swine flu is what
By
he
the
said.
way,
There
here's,
it is.
here's Andre the Giant's Washington State wrestling license.
Yeah.
I pulled it up really quick.
He's like,
Did he write everything there?
Yeah, I think so.
The handwriting looks. Interesting.
I like the giant in brackets in case it could be another Andre Rousimov. That looks like
Right.
Like the Rousimov.
Another 6 foot.
This is drawn by like a woman's handwriting. I don't think Andre drew this. He might have wrote wrestlers under present occupation.
He's got his weight as 470.
It looks like Kane wrote wrestlers under present occupation.
This is old school too because he was 32 here.
Wrestlers.
So this is 1978. He was 32. He was 7'4" and 470 pounds.
Yeah.
Those are lies. He
You
was
think-
never 7'4".
But they wanted to be billed as.
By the way,
Those
I
are his
love that.
work measurements.
Yeah.
I love that headshot. It looks like his LinkedIn profile picture.
Yeah,
he looks like a systems administrator.
Yeah, in case he
He's
needs
like,
to fall back on something, he's got that.
I'm very good at Linux. I have record of
That's
time,
fucked up.
And I can.
Anybody want the Linux?
Who wrote that? AK Evolution, this will probably ruin a lot of opportunities in wrestling, and that's fine, but make no mistake, Jim Cornette is trash. He and his wife have made power plays in order to hurt many, many people. Fuck you, Jim. Fuck you, Stacy. You are scum. And this sick fuck here says Jim Cornette is the Martin Shkreli of pro wrestling.
That's your money.
So he must like Martin Shkreli. And Jim Cornette must have contributed a bunch of stuff to pro wrestling then.
Martin Shkreli is like the heel of the big pharma circuit. Martin Shkreli is the Jim Cornette of gene therapies.
Martin Shkreli was a fall guy.
And lovers.
You need to let Shkreli out of jail so he can cure corona.
Thank you.
Let's hear what Jim has to say.
Some kind of way. Let's see how we can put him in this. I have done in a world of smart people where everybody else is, oh, we love you. They fight forever. This is awesome. They really hate you. You hate me. You really hate me. Now I know how Sally Field felt at the Oscars.
I think they love her.
And I know a lot of people out there right now are saying Jim Cornette is not going to take this seriously. Fuck no, I'm not. Are you out of your fucking mind? As we go into excruciating and minute detail on exactly why I'm not today here on this episode, I'm gratified, Brian, that the crowning achievement of my career is nearly 40 years after I first started. I'm the only person left in what's left of the wrestling business that people legitimately hate.
He's saying I got real heat. More heat.
I got that cool heat from being a cuck and fucking over people.
That's saying something.
That's saying something, and like you said, a lot of people are probably saying he's not taking this very seriously right now. There are a lot of things happening in the world of wrestling, and you got swept into it this past week on Twitter.
Well, and actually for a lot of, because here's the thing, a lot of the people that listen to our program, since the numbers have grown so dramatically over the last short time, few years, a lot of people don't live their lives on Twitter and aren't wrapped up in this ridiculous outlaw wrestling movement and might not even know this. So let's preface this top of the program. Brian, I'm going to attempt to relay the information to the folks on exactly the statements and the accusations that were made against me and Stacy, the beautiful queen of Castle Cornette, on Twitter.
Sounds like she's more like the throne of Castle Cornette.
She is sat on a lot.
A few days ago. Basically, some guy on Twitter, was that a James Gregory line? Some guy on Twitter alleges that Stacy and I have engaged in a concerted effort over the last some 20 years to recruit sex slaves and disciples from the OVW roster, and I threatened to withhold contracts or pushes and ruin their careers unless they submitted to Stacy's carnal desires. Have I got it right so far?
I heard there was only one guy that got pushed by having sex with Stacy, and it was
Spike Dudley.
Heidenreich.
Oh, Heidenreich. Yeah,
Heidenreich.
Is that real?
He would never had a career if he wouldn't have.
Didn't he become a Legion of Doom member?
Did he?
Yeah, I think he replaced.
He
Hawk.
was a brief failed Legion of Doom replacement.
Oh
Yeah,
my
when
God.
Hawk was like too messed up.
Poor
to wrestle.
bad things happen to Legion of Doom replacements. Or fuck, anybody who takes Hawk's role It's cursed.
Hawk was like in a really bad way. Well, yeah, Draws replace Hawk too?
Yeah, for a minute.
Oh my god.
They added Draws. I think Draws was like the third guy for a minute.
And then Hawk died.
Then the whole thing went away, then Hawk died, then they brought back Animal with Heidenreich.
And it's interesting because Heidenreich did the job for Cornette's wife, and then later Michael Cole did the job for Heidenreich. So like it's really just people putting each other over.
Heidenreich raped Michael Cole.
How could you forget?
Man, that whole like the mid 2000s is like a very like blackout period for me as far as wrestling. So I forget a lot of the insane bullshit that went on. But yeah, and wasn't Gene Snitsky in a gay relationship for a minute too?
Was Gene Snitsky in a? I remember he punted a baby, right?
He punted the baby, but I feel like Heidenreich and Gene Snitsky were like on the verge of kissing in multiple promos.
Oh my god.
Snitsky had the dirtiest yellow teeth.
Cornette.
He had some choppers.
Yeah.
So
coming in the chat is Heidenreich and Michael Cole. Just letting you know.
Yes.
So like, where do you stand on this, Billy? Like, I mean, like, he's not hiding it. He's not trying to be like, me and my wife didn't bang a bunch of people.
Well, it's the devil's in the detail, and we don't really know the details yet.
That is the crux of what has been alleged.
The crux or the crotch of the matter. This accusation was made, furthermore, by a guy on Twitter who says that he was an aspiring wrestling trainee in 2017. So it'd been 3 years ago. When they got a phrase now, groom, when Stacy tried to groom him to somehow come under her spell, and though he says he was able to escape us, we ruined a good friend of his life or career or whatever by tormenting him, and this guy just couldn't go on any longer without speaking out, even though he was scared and shaking as he...
I feel like this is just shitty cancel culture here, but let's hear
reveal
more.
this information. He actually typed that. I'm shaking as I type this.
Yeah, that's such bullshit, dude. I'm shaking as I type this. He's a grown fucking man. Like, he's afraid of Jim Cornette.
Who's shaking as they type this is Michael J. Fox.
Right.
That's it. No one else is actually shaking when they type this.
But he had to do it. And correct me when I go astray here, Brian, on the say-so of basically a random guy on Twitter with a 5 Twitter page story and some screenshots that we'll get to, every news outlet south of the New York Times says, holy shit! And all of the same outlaw wrestling fans with 120 Twitter accounts each, then in October when I was Grand Dragon of the KKK...
That's when he got fired for making the Ethiopia joke.
And in December, when I tried to systematically deny women the right to fucking...
Stone Mexican guy, most of us cannot speak Spanish. So...
I can, though.
All right, go ahead.
He says, I am a bad boy.
Yeah.
He says Jim Cornette is... Jim Cornette and his wife looked after him. He says Billy's not a sweet boy.
Yeah.
And then he says...
soy un niño malo, Gene Cornette,
he says he got laid in the back of an Arby's in 1993.
Billy
Gonzalez, fastest guy.
He
says me, Jim Cornette, and Jim Cornette's spouse ran a fucking money train on him in the back of an Arby's in 1993.
I don't know what the fuck. I hated women. I was against babies in March. And this time I'm trending for shit that somebody else has said about me that they actually...
I am a sweet boy, though.
...picked up and ran with.
I'm going to speed him up a little bit.
I am un Nino Dolce.
So, there's the thunder. So, honestly, I hate to blow one of the big reveals early. But I got to blow one because it helps the rest of the story if we blow one of the big reveals early. Usually it's the Perry Mason moment, right? But I did it at the end of the show in the courtroom. I got one reveal I got to do at the top of the program that puts things in better context.
I'm gay.
The aspiring trainee that says Stacy tried to groom him. This was in 2017. Before he managed to escape, right? Somehow her clutches or get away is in actuality, Brian, a guy in his late 30s currently living in Billings, Montana.
Yeah, it is true. Like, at the time he claimed he was being groomed, he was in his 30s. I'm sorry,
Also-
like, you can't just claim you were groomed just because someone made a pass at you and
Now-
you either agreed or no.
Ben,
Yeah, like you have some agency in your late
Right.
30s.
no,
There's no personal responsibility anymore.
No, Scott, you know this for a fact. Local guys, indie guys that are still trying to make it in their late 30s have the mental capacity of a 12-year-old.
That is not untrue, so I will concede that point.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
The other thing, though, the big thing, and maybe Cornette, I would assume, talks about it because it's a pretty big thing. This happened in 2017. Cornette has had no power and barely any involvement in OVW since 2005.
Right.
Yeah.
He had a lot of power, though, at one point. He decided
He
who
did,
went to
but not in
WWE.
2017.
Yeah, the power here
I
they're
mean, look at
suggesting
the
is
look at the
that-
guys who came through him. Some of the most successful people in the early 2000s, right? Like we could say
In the early
Cena,
2000s, yeah, but not since
Orton,
then.
Batista, CM Punk.
But they weren't like he didn't pick that talent. They were sent to him to be
Some of them
conditioned.
he did pick. Dude,
Not
he puts,
those guys. Those were all John
no,
Laurinaitis
he-
pulled them in, right?
He pushed Cena to the top. He takes credit for Cena.
Yeah, he pushed Cena, and he also pushed
Yeah.
He takes
Batista,
credit
but-
for everything.
But when,
He's
both
Jim
of those
Cornette.
guys,
But he's
when
not
they were
lying.
called up-
But he pushed them. But they were the talent was picked by somebody
we're not
else,
gonna lie that
right?
Jim Cornette is a good eye for talent in wrestling. I mean, he really is.
Yeah.
Well, that's. I mean, I think
But maybe
he's got a great
John
mind for
Cena
wrestling.
went pork pocket style on Stacy. He wasn't with Stacy back then, right? Like they don't go that far back. No, they do, because didn't Brock Lesnar like monkey
Brock
press her?
Lesnar. All right. We've talked about this before, and I went back the other day after I said it to make sure it was accurate what I said.
Yeah.
There's a story where at the time, Brock Lesnar's finish in OVW was just a press slam, where he picked them up and press slammed them, like Ultimate Warrior style. And that night, back in the day, it was okay for a wrestler to beat up a heel woman. And at the time, Jim Cornette's girlfriend at the time, was a heel. She was like the main manager of the heel faction at the time. And they were like, pick her up for the press slam, but be careful. She's got piercings in her vag. She's got fresh piercings in her vag. Don't hurt them. Pick her up. Brock Lesnar picks her up and goes fiddle, 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 like that when he does it, and then slams her. And then Jim Cornette's like, I can't kick your ass. I'm going to shoot your ass.
Yeah, he pulled a gun on him.
Can
Can you
or at
imagine?
least threaten to pull a gun.
Could you imagine pulling on a gun on Brock Lesnar and not killing him?
I don't know if he actually pulled it, but said he had one and said he would
Oh,
use
I thought
it.
he pulled it.
I think he said he had it.
I
and
could
would
not
use it.
imagine threatening Brock Lesnar with a gun and not actually following through.
I think
would
Brock
not want that on my
Lesnar, at
conscience.
that point, Jim Cornette had enough power and influence to make that kind of threat and not get his ass kicked. Well, it
Maybe
didn't
power
happen.
and influence, or maybe Brock was like, "Do it, fucking do it."
I don't think that. I don't think Brock had.
I think Brock
the
could eat
ego.
a bullet and
I don't
spit
think
it
Brock
out.
had that.
Say, do you think a bullet could stop Brock? That's
Yes.
a bigger question.
Yes, it could.
placed bullet, like a 50 caliber, maybe.
In the gut, in the sternum.
He
Fuck
did,
yeah, it could.
if it might cure his
He's not a
diverticulitis.
rhino. He's not a
We don't know
rhinoceros.
that. We don't know that.
Show me
whatever.
documentation that Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
is not a rhino.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I think
well, I-
one bullet could stop Brock Lesnar easily.
I would believe Obama was born in Kenya before I would believe Brock Lesnar is
a
not part
bullet to
rhino.
Brock Lesnar's kneecap would stop him. Come on.
You say that. That
Oh, come
motherfucker,
on.
you have to get both kneecaps. I think Brock Lesnar could hop around on one leg.
I think he'd be
Zach
crying
Gowen
and
style.
bleeding out. You shot him once in the leg.
Don't say that about Brock Lesnar.
Don't say that.
Okay, so this is a guy
double
who
dip.
threatened to shoot Brock Lesnar, and this is also a guy who was fired from his position in OVW for literally assaulting Santino Marella.
No, no,
yeah, but that
no,
bitch
no,
was asking
no,
for
no,
it.
no, 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 no. Come on, come on.
What's
come
your
on.
side of the story?
Santino assaulted him.
Oh.
That's I suppose is a he said. I mean, the story the way that it's usually told by wrestling fans is that Santino's kid was in the audience. The boogeyman came out to do a run-in. Santino didn't want to scare his daughter, so Santino
No,
kind of
you
wasn't
do
taking
what the booker says. No, fuck that, dude. Fuck all of this. Oh, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Ben
Go ahead,
is the
go ahead.
cult of Cornette. You love.
Well, look, I mean, I I also enjoy Jim Cornette, but he works in the wrestling business. He's a Cardi who, by your own admission, threatened to shoot a guy for playing with his wife's vaginal piercings during a press slam.
Wouldn't you want? I mean,
I think we have to take literally everything about this situation with a grain of salt. Like right now, I don't think we have enough information. I will say something interesting about this Cornette case is that Stephen P. New, the man for you, when you have to sue, call Stephen P. New, is not taking the case.
All right, that's one of their sponsors.
Yes, exactly. Now, Stephen P. New, a guy who was totally cool with suing a bunch of indie wrestlers over a T-shirt that had Cornette's face on it, duct tape closed, but won't. So he was willing to sue on Cornette's behalf over a T-shirt, but he's not willing to sue on Cornette's behalf over sexual assault.
Well, hold on. Hold on, though. One's a way more complicated case. One's either you own the rights or you don't. The other is like he said, she said, kind of. A sexual harassment case with multiple eyewitness accounts is different than whether or not you own the rights to print a T-shirt.
Well, granted, I just sent you Stephen P. New's tweet. I can also send you another tweet by him where he talks about representing over 60 sexual assault victims. The reason
I heard that representation matters.
The reason to sue these people isn't because you think you'll win. The reason to sue them is the same reason I got sued. It's to tie them up in court and fuck them. Yep. I don't know why a lawyer wouldn't take money. That's what lawyers are for. They're there to take money, regardless of whether or not they win the case.
No. They're legal. I understand with your experience why this would be the case, but a lawyer still has fiduciary duty. Legally, a good lawyer will tell you whether or not it's a good idea to pursue a case, unless they're Maddox's lawyer.
Yeah, I definitely know that lawyers have a responsibility to their oath and to the bar that they swore to not take a hopeless case and take your money. These are also lawyers who constantly take hopeless cases to take your money. That's what lawyers do. They're there to separate marks from their money. So again, look, I don't know who to believe here because a lot of these Twitter allegations are coming out and we're finding out they're true. A lot of them are coming out and we're finding out that it's people with an axe to grind trying to settle old scores. I don't think just because Cornette says it's not true, we take him at his word. I also don't think we have to take anonymous Twitter allegers at their word.
Well, I think we have to have the anonymous Twitter allegers actually bring some sort of evidence for their claims, right? They have to.
Well, often in the case of sexual assault, evidence is just testimony.
Well, some testimony, though. Right now, it's a guy in a mask, basically. It's like some Rey Mysterio-looking motherfucker with a mask showing up and saying, Cornette groomed me. And if Cornette's saying it's some 30-something-year-old dude in Billings, Montana, then obviously, if he wants to be a pro wrestler, he's got some mental problems. And
if anyone wants to be a pro wrestler, they've got mental problems.
Right. Not if you're a cool furry.
Here's somebody to challenge me on these details.
It's still Dos pesos for sweet bois por favor.
Sweet bois por favor.
If you're doing some math, that means that this fucking fresh-faced, innocent trainee who came under the wiles of a wicked, wicked city woman would have been almost 35 years old. So maybe that's why his fucking wrestling career apparently has not worked out well, because nobody from Google on down could identify this human being as an actual professional wrestler. He may have been to wrestling school or in some way perpetrated something in a ring. He did apparently.
DDP started at 40, and AJ Styles is in his late 30s right now.
DDP started. Hold on though. DDP started wrestling at 40, but he had already been in the business in wearing a variety of hats.
And he was a club guy in fucking Atlanta. Right. That's
right.
There's so many people who got into wrestling
even
through
a manager
WCW.
And an announcer for years before that.
There's so many people who got into wrestling through WCW because they were in the right place at the right time when everybody was down there with all their fucking money.
But DDP put in the time. He didn't just show up as a 40-year-old like, hey, let me wrestle, and then he's the
He
world
managed
champion.
for a while. He was the drizzling shits, and then Dusty was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He's like, "I don't know. I'm just fucking doing." He's like, "Don't do this business if you don't want to be world champion." And he's like,
And
"Oh,
he
well,
became
thanks,
world
Dusty."
champion.
He became world champion,
And he deserved it.
Well,
I think he deserved it.
I think he did too. I think he's done more for wrestling after wrestling than he did in wrestling, though.
Help keeping these legends from killing themselves. Yeah, sure.
But this fucking weirdo
against
in
nature.
Billings, Montana, he's not even qualified to be a manager at Big Ted's Montana, like let alone a
delicious.
fucking anywhere in the Indies. But like Jim Cornette makes a point there. This guy's career was never going to go fucking anywhere if he's some rando 30-something in Billings. Like
But
Scott.
isn't that what we say to discredit all accusers? Like, it's just some intern that's looking for notoriety. Oh, it's just some this. Oh, it's just some that. And again, I don't know who's correct here. I'm just saying someone's age and their status in the industry isn't necessarily enough to not believe them.
Oh,
Although I agree with what you said before.
You know what?
Billy,
He very
about, like,
much could be
this
telling
guy
the
should
truth
probably go
about
on the record.
When we had Jim Cornette on this show 5 years ago, it's weird. They have this kind of like, you don't talk shit about other people. Like Jim Cornette, Jim Ross had just been fired because he couldn't rein in drunk Ric Flair.
Yeah.
At this video game thing. Yep. We had Jim Cornette on like a week after that happened. He would not bash Vince for firing him. He wouldn't bash
Of course not.
Flair for doing what he did. He's like, the Nature Boy has a couple of cocktails. What are you going to say about that?
That's the business, though.
Yeah.
You don't want to
But you
piss
wouldn't
off the
bash Ric
boys.
Flair, like,
You don't want to piss off anybody who's booking
guys,
you or anybody
this
you're
is
working with.
Guys, this is Jim Cornette. He's the guy that regularly calls Kenny Omega a pedophile on his podcast.
he would not do it. He wouldn't. But here's the thing.
Lionizing or deifying anyone. He calls Joey Janela Joey Janela. He also calls Kenny Omega a Harpo Marx pedophile.
Well, here's
so,
the thing.
Again, let's not say, oh, this guy's a saint.
He's not gonna. Well, he doesn't
he's
like.
A heel.
He doesn't like that style of wrestling, the pedophile style of wrestling.
He doesn't like those vanilla midgets.
Warmed up to it yet. If you sit down and watch and really get into the pedophile style is pretty.
And by the way, Asterios, hate to break it to you, Joey Ryan stole the dick spot.
He said Joey Janela.
Oh, but I mean Joey Ryan, who I'm sure he's a fan of.
Oh no, I'm not a fan of Joey Ryan. You mean Joey Ryan, the confirmed sexual predator?
Is he confirmed?
Yeah, that one.
Joey Ryan.
Is he confirmed?
Joey Ryan has there is a lot more evidence against Joey Ryan.
Oh yeah, the two most canceled people are Joey Ryan and David Starr. Those are the two worst ones for sure. Everything else, who knows?
From Impact. Joey Ryan was fired from Impact Wrestling. Joey Ryan's he had a match this weekend and was replaced by.
He stole the dick
Purrazzo.
spot. He stole the dick spot, and Scott knows.
While they were drunk. Let's focus on the facts here.
Scott knows Joey Ryan stole the dick spot from somebody else.
100%.
He stole it from Johnny Cockstrong.
The guy he stole it from.
Yeah. Wow. Joey Ryan stole flipping a guy by his dick. It sounds like the worst thing Joey Ryan's done.
That's easily the worst thing Joey Ryan will ever do in his life, ever, is steal from Johnny Cockstrong, the original dick wrestler.
Shout out Johnny Cockstrong.
And also, don't forget Jim Cornette hates Joey Ryan.
Yeah,
for good reason, apparently.
Train in the OVW system at some point
You don't
around
talk about
2017.
people in wrestling because everybody in wrestling is guilty.
Wrestling connection that I've been able to find is that one of his social media accounts, his profile picture is a meet and greet pose with Sami Callihan. That's very interesting. But before we talk about
why
the way that he's addressed me and my family, there is, hope you don't know this, Brian. You'd be really scary if you did, but I found it out. This same guy from Billings, Montana, there's a pro wrestler who I obviously will not name, a male, who sent photos of himself to a person he knew that was wanting them and looking forward to receiving them. But some way or another, this guy has ended up with them. And it has been alleged to make noise like he wants to show these pictures and
so
tell
everyone's
people that this guy
showing
just
nudes
sends
to
them out or whatever,
everybody.
or sully his
Welcome to the
reputation some
year
way. So
2020.
Maybe if I didn't work out, he had a backup plan. That's what I'm saying.
Wait, I don't understand exactly what you are saying.
What I'm saying is that a guy in the wrestling business who sent pictures to a person who wanted them, well, some way or another, this guy has ended up with those pictures.
So you're saying beyond the screen caps of messages, which you said you'll talk about, There's a different person in wrestling who's
yes. This guy's got somebody else's shit in wrestling that he don't want him to have and don't know how that he got. So there's obviously he's starting a career here. But anyway, I don't want to go into that any further because it's not my place.
Collector.
But this other guy.
I don't want to go into this any further. I'm just going to bring it up on the most listened to episode of my podcast in years. But I'm not looking to start any trouble here.
He's vindicating himself. What? Come on, buddy.
Jim Cornette has every right to defend himself. Jim Cornette putting out this episode right away and giving his side of the story was a really smart idea. I do not know the truth. But if Jim Cornette's going to do something funny, I'm going to make fun of him. We're all talking about it because we want to make cuck jokes.
Further, if anything else happens.
Mostly,
anyway.
Yes.
But we know that this guy somehow can get people's stuff. But anyway, I'll tell you how he got some of this other stuff in a second. The point is, let's go through this bit by bit in, as I mentioned, excruciating detail. As far as I'm concerned in this, I said, well, what's everybody mad at me about here? Well, you withheld employment or withheld contracts or gave same or applied favor or fear to people's employment in exchange for them having to somehow engage with you or your wife and gratify you people in these horrible ways. This is the bone of that contention, right? Well, in OVW, I was the booker, and obviously, we've gone into my credentials in OVW from 1999 till 2005, when I was sideways then with the WWE program and ceased my affiliation as far as being the booker, the announcer, any part of the creative or developmental program. I divested myself of my ownership in 2007. But from 99 to 05, Brad, we had a pretty good record of turning out talent from that point. Just
no doubt.
Not to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but toot.
You mean when there was no other big power plant for people to go to?
No, there were. Well, first of all, power plant. That's not a fair comparison because the power plant was owned by Turner.
Well, yeah,
it was the same
was
as
a
like
farm league for
wholesale-
WWE.
No. The power plant is not the same. The power plant was owned by WCW. OVW was independently owned and
But
actually
they were the
sanctioned by the
farm league.
NWA for a few years too.
But Vince gave them his contract for
It's
his
not the
talent.
same as the power
It
plant.
was 100% like more directed by Vince sending his talent to OVW to get trained in OVW before they came up.
ECW was more directed by Vince than OVW. Yes. ECW was money funneled in by Vince.
OVW was money funneled in by Vince too. They were the farm league.
No, they were more independent than ECW was. ECW was
That's a statement.
Vince funded ECW to keep their wrestlers in ECW to not go to WCW.
He kept
back in the
feeding
day.
them money to keep them alive so they had another
No,
job.
and to keep money going to those wrestlers so they wouldn't go. He didn't want those
Vince
wrestlers
paid for OVW
He
too.
didn't want those wrestlers going to WWE, but he didn't want them going to WCW either. So he threw money into ECW to keep those wrestlers there.
The guys like Batista and Brock Lesnar and John Cena that worked for OVW were under WWE contracts.
Some of them,
That
yes.
is absolutely true because
Some of
Brock
them.
Lesnar was recruited like directly by Jim
Yeah.
Ross and Vince. Like
They were all WWE contracts working for Cornette. Cornette had a sweet deal.
To OVW to learn, but like they were
Yeah.
under contract to WWE.
Cornette had a
Exactly.
sweet deal that he could use the brand new fucking talent in his farmyard.
They
thing.
had a deal, but Vince had a more sweet deal with the ECW, and it was behind the curtain.
Completely disagree.
No,
those guys weren't WWE employees directly most of the time. I think they did have
Some
a
of
talent
them,
trade.
yes.
They did have a talent trade
They
where
were there to be
ECW got
trained.
Al Snow in exchange for WW cherry picking.
I'll
Austin
tell you
and
what,
guys
some of
from
the
him.
closest employers are the one you don't officially make employees. Hi, Billy.
I mean, like what Ben is saying.
I do agree
is-
that I'm a top level talent like Stone Cold Steve Awesome.
I mean, what Ben is saying is also technically true. I know that WWE invested money in ECW and put Heyman on the payroll.
Yes.
So that when ECW eventually did go under, ECW would be in debt to the WWE,
Yep.
giving WWE first right of refusal on the ECW tape library.
Yes.
Like you're both kind of. It's just you're both right about more. You're both right about more than you both think you're right about.
If this was a pissing contest, we'd be showering each other with
I
golden
just have
victory.
bad kidneys and a narrowed urethra. That's why he would win.
Census at the time, and you can vouch for this or disagree if you want. If anybody's out there screaming this and waving torches in the air, did we not have the reputation for featuring all of the best talent in the best way on OVW television and pretty much any other place in the business?
I think you could say that, yeah.
We, according to what everybody, including the WWE, who was overseeing the developmental program, part of it at that time, I pushed all the people that I should have and half the people I shouldn't have. But everybody got a shot. And it was not given out on any fears or favors for anything. And it's never been said before in the 15 years since. The only problem I had when it came to pushing talent was when they were telling me to push the talent that had never been in front of an audience before. That got a little unpalatable. But that had nothing to do with the accusations of which we speak. You don't think that these guys who became the most powerful wrestlers in the largest promotion in the world, especially during a period of time where John Laurinaitis wanted to get rid of me, get me out of the way here at OVW, wouldn't have given him some help? Wouldn't have said, okay, I really don't like that this went on or so-and-so. After I was gone, when I wouldn't have had any influence, you don't think somebody would say, hey, thank you, good job for doing that because of this? Or any other complaint, any complaint about the way that I interacted with the guys, except professionally when I was screaming at them about their fucking crummy matches, was ever the subject of any complaint. This wouldn't have come.
We tried to get Jim to admit to a sexual relationship between Shawn Michaels and Vince, and he's like, as much as I would love for that to be true, I never saw anything, is what he said. He was like, I would love to tell you right now that those two were fucking.
They would hide it. They would 100%.
How hard, like, how easy is that to hide, though?
100% easy.
Oh,
They're gonna have
God.
what? They're gonna have as much one-on-one time as they want.
Dude, doors.
I think it was the second or third time Shawn Michaels won the title. He got up on the announcer table and like shook his butt in Vince's face.
Yeah.
And Vince was like, ah ha ha ha! Oh, god damn it, pal! Like that.
It's so weird because it's like, as nerds, we ship like so many things. Like people ship like Ray and Poe, and in the '90s we all shipped like Mulder and Scully. In wrestling, people are constantly shipping two things: one, Shawn and Vince, and two, Randy Macho Man Savage
and Stephanie.
Everyone's like, oh,
that's more.
Be true.
You know what? In my opinion, that's more
let these
likely.
two couples be true.
That's more likely than Shawn and Vince, in my opinion.
It's just weird that we're all obsessed with these people kissing.
No, not kissing.
Anyway, back to Jim Cornette.
Their little
swinging
nether
lifestyle.
regions kissing is what we're talking
Yeah, we've
about.
seen Vince McMahon face deep in Rikishi's buttocks. Like kissing's nothing.
Fucking horrible things. Not one person that I ever supposedly made that offer to at that time ever complained privately, publicly, stated it to anybody, etc. So then I'm gone from OVW. And then in 2010, I returned, and here's why. It was the fall, October, I believe. But Danny Davis called me. He had lost his affiliations. He had no developmental deal with anybody. The talent was down. The business was down. He was going through a rough spot. He had let some of the other guys run the business for a while. It had not gone well. He said, my TV's a shits. Can you maybe write the TV? Give me some ideas for the TV, whatever. I went and talked to him. Said, I'll write the TV. Because this is when we were in the process. I was with Ring of Honor. We were in the process of working on, or just starting into the process of, I can't remember the exact timeline, the Sinclair purchase. But I was home a lot. So I agreed to write the television that they taped on Wednesday nights and produce it, try to lay it out, help the guys. One night a week, I was writing the TV and trying to show the guys, help the guys, teach the guys how to do these things on television. To say that I would have withheld a push from anybody at this point is ridiculous, since there weren't any contracts for anybody because there was no affiliation. Nobody was actually getting paid at this time. It was a straight wrestling school. There were only about 4 guys, to be quite honest, on the roster, being charitable, that would have ever been able to get a contract with anybody. And I pushed them to the moon and wrote the TV around them because the rest of the guys, while well-meaning and hardworking, were the drizzling shits. And I didn't book the house shows because at that point, everybody had a real job and Danny wasn't sure who would show up on a Saturday night at a spot show. So they just booked the fucking card when they got there. So the idea that there was anything to withhold or reward anybody with is, you people don't know how the fucking wrestling business works. Anyway,
can you pause?
So I did the favor. That's true, actually, because OVW stopped being the farm system in 2008 or 9 when they went to Florida.
FCW.
Yeah.
Which later became NXT.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins came out of FCW as Tyler Black and became the first NXT champion. So.
Yeah. How could you say that OVW was less involved with WWE than ECW was when it was the same thing as FCW?
It wasn't.
It was the same thing as Florida Championship Wrestling.
No. It was a satellite organization. It was not revealed to be part. It was revealed to be. It was. They pretended it was competition when in reality it was an ally, and it was to farm talent away from WCW that they didn't
ECW?
want. Yes.
It was part of it.
No. It was never revealed. They acted like ECW was competition at the time.
Yeah, they did act like it. The way they acted was not what
It
they
was
actually.
very
Yeah, but they had them on Monday Night Raw, and they had them do other
Once.
things. Yeah. We knew they had
But
a working
they've been
relationship.
funding it for like 4 years before that happened.
We knew they had a working relationship.
No, we didn't know that.
You had to have known.
No.
You had to have known.
It's just interesting because I mean, like, again, you were technically like, you're both right about this. Like, WWE had a relationship with both OVW and ECW to varying degrees. You're not going to send Cowboy Bob Orton's gorgeous son to
Beautiful, shiny son,
handsome son, like, to absolutely nowhere where you have no connection to him or his training.
They wouldn't have
Like,
sent Randy Orton to ECW to fight the Sandman.
No, but they did send him to FCW.
Of
That's what
course!
I'm saying.
Because that was
OVW, sorry,
directly
they did send him to
affiliated.
OVW. That's what I'm
OVW.
saying. It's like he was undercut. You know, he's a second generation superstar. He, like, why would he be fucking? He's not fucking around in OVW hoping for a call from Vince. He's getting seasoned and learning for his main roster debut.
Yeah, exactly.
I just kind of feel like we're all correct here. Also, I just want to point out, I think it's really funny to hear Jim Cornette talk at like 4 times speed, because it's like
great.
Speedy Gonzalez defending himself from sexual assault.
Till what was it? The Sinclair purchase happened, April or first part of May, whatever. At that point, 2011.
Look at him go.
I didn't have time and I couldn't write the TV anymore, but I'd worked with a couple of the guys. I won't mention anybody's name, slander anybody at this point, but a couple of the guys that were Danny's senior guys that had been around for a while and knew how the equipment worked and wrestled and did production and they got the hang of formats, blah, blah, blah. And I quietly handed it off. I didn't have any fucking retirement ceremony. I went to do the Ring of Honor thing. And I think they kept using my name as the matchmaker, even though I wasn't there, until they got their TNA deal. At that point, Danny had also restructured some things with the business and the way they ran the shows and et cetera. He had a little more income coming in. So I wasn't leaving him in a lurch, but it wasn't a paid position to begin. Every once in a while, he'd force a check or fucking dinner on me. So that doesn't sound like a high pressure environment where, hey, come bone my wife or I'm going to fucking take this goddamn giant opportunity away from you might be existing at that point. Does it to you, Brian?
It does not, no.
All right. That was my last creative position in Ohio Valley Wrestling. I went back for about 6 weeks, I think it lasted, in 2015, because I'd found a sponsor down in Knoxville, guy with the TV station, the Fox affiliate. They got the OVW TV show on the air down there. It was an extra little revenue stream for Danny. As I said, I don't remember that it lasted longer than 6 or 8 weeks. But at that point in time, I went and did a couple of TVs as an appearance and did one of their Saturday night house shows as a special deal so I could work with Danny again. And I haven't been in OVW in 5 years. And I'm just going to, I don't mean to offend anybody here in town when I say this, but if anybody thinks that in the last 10 fucking years that I have paid any attention to Ohio Valley Wrestling or anybody working there or what they're doing or who they're doing it with or anybody past that my old friend Danny Davis sold it to fucking Al Snow 2 years ago and retired to Florida, you are out of your fucking minds. So that part's fucking ridiculous. And here's another thing that, once again, this would sound good to all the people on Twitter and a fucking wrestling school dropout or some fucking markish idiot that doesn't know how the wrestling business works. But let me explain something else to you. Ricky, Lucy. This guy also said that I would bury or report guys to the commissioner here in Kentucky if they wouldn't play footsie with us. And
if that's true, that, like, I don't believe it, but what he's saying, if that's true, that's enough to bury Jim Cornette. Like threatening to report someone to the athletic commission, like if you don't fuck my wife or whatever, that's bottom of the barrel, if that's true.
What if it's his wife saying this
So
stuff
prove
and
it.
not him?
Well, prove it.
Then she's bad.
Right.
Like,
yeah, do you hold him accountable for what his wife may have done?
If he knew about it. If he knew about it.
What if he knew
I guess
about
if
it?
he knew about it, sure. But
Take my monies.
Thank you.
Asterios Coconuts is my third favorite guest. Today in
Thank
1903,
you.
George Orwell was born.
Hey, thank you.
Happy birthday, Giorgio.
Thank you, Kilo. That gets us up to a 27.59%.
satisfy
for
their
the
whims or
week.
whatever, right? You see
Thank
that part?
guys.
Yeah.
And part of this relates to it. We'll get to it. Part of it relates to the old Facebook, the old fucking Facebook in the middle of the night. But I understand once again why an idiot would say this, but think about this for a second. I'm going to go to, as we've talked about for so many years, the representative of the Kentucky State Athletic Commission, one of the most stringent athletic commissions in the country. It is a government agency, and he then, by extension of logic of that, is a government official, you fucking Twitter twits. And I'm going to ask him, hey, do me some favors here, because these guys ain't playing along. It would legitimately, in the state of Kentucky, it's not like they're actually telling the old stories of the old days where you can slip the fucking commissioner a 20 and he sticks it in his hat and chomps on his cigar and goes out for a smoke when you slip the blade in back in Shreveport. It would be, and in the days of social media and video, it would be a crime for him, not me,
Government
but him.
officials do backstage handshake shit still to this day.
Sure,
of course.
Like
they're politicians.
This is a poor argument for Jim Cornette to be making, but I guess this is his argument.
To go along with anything that I would propose in that direction,
He's
that would be him
basically saying,
being
"That's
malfeasant
illegal.
at his job.
It's illegal."
And that would be him. You think the fucking commissioner is going to commit a crime for me so me or my wife, either one, could get laid?
Unless the commissioner was smashing too.
Tim, on a couple of occasions, there's been over the years that I've promoted in the state of Kentucky. Oh, God, please don't test this guy till after the show, or please don't suspend this guy because he doesn't have his license or whatever, because it's going to fuck up my program, right? And he would always be very kind, very polite when he'd turn around and say, well, I wish I could, but I can't because that's the rules. And there would go whatever the fuck, right? I can make this statement while we're making declarative statements. I have never asked the commissioner or representative of the commission of the state of Kentucky to test, fine, suspend, harass, cuss out, or in other way mistreat.
See, the reason I'm playing this is because he's literally addressing every single accusation. He's not running from any of it. And that's why I respect him a lot. So he's going by it line by line. And I whether you believe him or not, he's addressing every one. He's not like being like, oh, I'm not going to talk about that.
Anybody or do any favors for anybody in OVW or any other company. Here, all these outlaws here that you saw, they call the commission embarrass. I've applauded him a few times fining or suspending some of these promotions, but I've never asked him to do it. And if it ever came to needing a sworn statement from a government official to that fact, he would be more than happy to provide one. And while I'm making the explicit denials that everybody has, I've seen a lot of people making a lot of conditional denials and or explanations, but I'm just sticking with the explicit what do they call it? Categorical? I'm going over that stuff. I have never offered any wrestler, male or female, preferential treatment, a job, a contract, a push, or anything else related to their employment, or threatened the same or threatened or the opposite if they would or would not engage in ribald relations with me or my wife. No quid pro quo, no tit for tat.
Have you ever had ribald relations? I'm not sure what that means.
Never been ribald.
Yeah. Ribald relations.
Cases. And also, Brian, I made a list. Stop me when I get to the end of it if I haven't covered anything, because I made a list of all of the denials that I need.
Hold on.
Did you check it twice?
Is this Yoda? Is this
God damn it, Scott, that was
But is this Yoda? That has to be Yoda.
Need to make everybody happy according to what I've seen.
Asterios actually has a timeout request.
I'm sorry, I just have a quick thing I want to rip on, and I don't know if it'll go anywhere, but can you imagine being Brian Last, and now you have to deal? It's like dealing with Jim Cornette anyway sounds like a nightmare. And this comes from someone.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Okay.
My bad.
Is Ben memeing? Oh.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Take your time. I was gonna say and this is coming from someone who listens to his show. I'm a big fan of Jim Cornette.
Me too.
I listen to his podcast. I just can't imagine how difficult it is to wrangle him as Brian Last and convince him to watch NXT.
You know what?
And now you got to come in on a Monday, and it's oh, now this.
You know what? People were saying, how is Brian gonna deal with this? People were saying how can Brian rationalize this? And I think he did a good job. I don't think he's.
Look. I'm not
and you know what? Brian is a really politically correct guy too, and he's Jewish. He doesn't put up with any of that anti-Semitic bullshit or anything.
Should anybody?
That's why he hasn't had me on.
I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying it just seems to me like Brian Last has the hardest job in podcasting.
Yeah.
And it's just so much harder on Monday. It's okay, so I guess we got to collapse all the.
I think Brian handled this perfectly. I like them both and respect them both.
Internet past several days with everybody else, right? No female wrestler that I ever worked with in Ohio Valley Wrestling or anywhere else, my recollection, has ever said that I talked to them or treated them improperly, except when critiquing their matches or performance of same. But treated them improperly or with any personal or language or actions of that description. I have not been involved with anyone under legal age. I have not physically abused anybody. Well, okay, I physically abused some men. By the strict definition of that term, I've hit a lot of men over the head with a fucking tennis racket. Let me try this again. How should I say this?
A few men.
Well, what do you mean? Well, he did. He admits to hitting Santino. He admits to that kind of shit. And they should. I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. That is wrong. Like, you shouldn't assault someone. Like, in the ring, under kayfabe, like, whatever. You get hit, you hit someone. But backstage, like, I'm mad at you, I'm going to hit you. That's wrong. I don't know. So, at that point, that's a tough one because you can't call the cops on Jim Cornette and expect to keep your job, right? If Jim Cornette hit you backstage.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't feel right about that. I feel more wrong about that than this.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about Cornette. He's like incredibly entertaining. He's incredibly charming. He has brilliant commentary every week on what's happening on NXT and AEW. And then also it's like there's this like well-told story out there about him hitting Santino Marella.
I don't like Santino though.
Like,
and you know what? I took his side when he got fired from NWA. Too. I didn't think that was that bad of a joke, honestly.
I didn't necessarily blame Cornette for that. I blamed what's his name?
Billy
Brian
Corgan?
Goober.
Oh.
No, the other guy, Dave Lagana. Wasn't it Dave Lagana who like it's like, dude, you're the executive producer of this TV show. You should not have let that joke go to air. It's Jim Cornette's
when you're the producer of a pre-taped show.
Dave Lagana, who's not having any problems of his own now.
Dave Lagana, squeaky clean as a whistle.
When you're the producer of a pre-taped show and every show goes through your desk and you get to watch it, it's your problem.
Yes, I blame like with respect to that Cornette joke. No, I didn't think that joke was great, and I certainly don't think it was like great for 2019. But it's a pre-taped show. It's Jim Cornette's job to improvise, and it's your job to edit, Lagana.
Exactly.
Like, that was entirely Lagana's fault.
Yes, well, I mean, I'm trying to be categorical here, and I can't make that blanket statement when I say anybody, because I've physically abused a lot of fucking men.
But not in a sexual manner.
But not in a sexual way. Okay, there's categorical. I've not physically abused any men in a sexual way, and I haven't physically abused any women. I don't even think I even ever tatered any of the girls I worked with. Well, Baby Doll, I'll tell you I did one time, but that was her fault.
Oh, God. He tatered Baby Doll back in the day? Remember Baby Doll? Like anyone, old WCW fan?
I mean,
she was a WCW valet back in the day. Very small woman.
Yeah. I remember her once being introduced as a perfect 10 Baby Doll.
She was a 7.5 at best.
Never sent inappropriate pics, texts, sexts, or whatever to anybody, because I've never sent a goddamn text to anybody.
Of course not. He still has a VCR.
And that on Facebook for
I've
the
sent
same
a couple
reason.
of VHS tapes of me jerking off in the mail.
Slept in the same bed with a woman and not had sex with them, and it wasn't a surprise to anybody that was involved with it when it happened. And I didn't know that people just did that like it was the fucking Brady Bunch. Oh, come on over, hang out, let's have a sleepover. We're grown adults, but we're not gonna. I don't fucking understand.
Here's the story of a cocky lady.
Nice.
Someone in the chat said tater. That's a new one to me. Yeah, that's a wrestling term for throwing a potato, throwing a punch that's not pulled, like or a move, like a regular wrestling punch is soft. A tater punch is a real punch, like, or maybe not 100%, but like 80%.
It's when you catch them with a fake punch.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one that really gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it knocks you up.
Nobody that I've ever known in the biblical sense has been forced or coerced in any way to be there, and all seemed happy to take part and happy when it was over with. You can take that as you will.
Okay, one more time. Can we pause this? All right, all of us, real talk. Let's put seriously. Let's put the jokes aside for a second.
Okay.
Jim Cornette and his wife want to have a hot tub party with you.
Whatever.
You do it. No, I'm not.
All right. I want to take the opportunity to announce the next DP meetup, Louisville, Kentucky. Ben and Billy the Fridge live in Jim Cornette's hot tub at the Castle Cornette.
Dude, I don't want to fuck his wife.
You're gonna live.
I'm not kidding. I think
that was the entertainment.
Yeah,
that was the entertainment. What? You're backing out now?
I don't want to fuck
All right, I'm
Cornette's
revoking
wife.
your pay. I'm sorry because
Wow.
we agreed on that. We agreed that the
Wow.
entertainment would be you banging Jim Cornette's wife.
God damn it.
Me and Jim in the hot tub doing whatever.
I have to bang Cornette's wife again.
Doing whatever.
I'm not being accused of cheating by my spouse or significant other, because whenever that's happened, she's either known about it or been there when it took place. But my own wife is not mad at me for anything. So apparently that just leaves, when you take all those other things out, fun. Does it, that's what you're left over with, is just fun? Day off, personal time amongst friends? Fun? Isn't everybody supposed to have their fun? You know, I bet there's about 5 or 6 motherfuckers, I shouldn't even use a vulgar term, there's about 5 or 6 individuals on the AEW roster. I could question them having fun if there was a fucking Burrow from Monterey involved.
Yeah, he's trying to bury. He hates AEW so much, which is weird because he hated Vince and WWE so much, but he hates AEW more, and I'm kind of surprised by that.
Almost like he's
because it's too modern. He just hates anything.
Well, here's the thing, though.
1995.
I'm pretty old school with my wrestling too, honestly. But he likes Cody a lot, but I think that's only because he respects Dusty. I feel like he only likes Cody because he respects Dusty. Like,
maybe he likes Cody because Cody is going about it from an old school perspective.
I think, well, maybe that, but I think when he looks at Cody, he sees Dusty, and he doesn't want to disrespect his hero.
I think Cody holds on to a lot of the old school.
Is it wrong to say Dusty is one of Jim Cornette's heroes?
I don't know.
In wrestling.
I have no idea.
I think it just also happens to be true that, like, Cody does the best storytelling on AEW. Like, Cody's the bright spot of every pay-per-view and every show. Like, he's just really good. You care about the guy, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'd get fucking hell and damnation sent down on top of me. Isn't that the whole idea of all of these woke people? That everybody's supposed to be allowed to have their fun?
No fun.
I can't have my fun. Stacey can't have her fun.
I want Jim to have all the fun.
Can I have my fun?
I want Jim to have all the fun in the world. It sounds more clean fun than what Jerry Lawler was having back in the day.
Oof.
Fucking man.
Actual children.
You can't have fun anymore. Isn't fun what it's all about, Brian?
Again, to go back to the issue, and I'm trying to read between the lines and actually read the actual lines that you're saying here, that having fun, as you're putting it, is okay as long as it's not attached to a push or being blackballed or a major run in OVW.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, if you'll come over and get in a hot tub with us, then we'll let you drive the ring truck. What the fuck? That's another thing. I've become Hugh Hefner. Hot tub parties. What the? I mean, seriously, I ain't joking with you. We have had from the professionals in the wrestling industry that have been in our hot tub that we have had for 15 years. I'd say 5, 6 tops. And I don't remember any of them actually being contracted at the time with any major organizations.
The one thing Jim never addresses here is whether or not he swings both ways, which I'm very interested in.
Why?
It is interesting.
Because I'm just intrigued by it.
Who cares? Let the guy have his fun.
That's what I'm saying. If you take out
established he likes fun.
The manipulating people's jobs accusation, which we've just basically drawn and quartered, as they say, and illustrated was fucking caca. What you got left is I've been charged with having an interesting sex life.
That is a lot of what I've noticed on social media the last few days is there's a very, very small group of people that think that you legitimately held someone back because they wouldn't participate in sexual activities with your wife. But then there's a lot of other people who are, the term I've seen used is kink shaming you for not having a sexual life that I guess is the same as theirs.
Well, but besides that, they've taken that and run with it.
So now you hear how Brian Last is doing like his angle.
Also,
on it, which I don't disagree
let's face
with.
It wouldn't be physically possible for my sex life to have been as good as the internet has said it was over the last 3 days, or Stacey's, either one. And it's fucking ridiculous. As I said, I wish it had been that varied and exciting. Well, you know, as I said, in the last 15 years, we've had 5 or 6 people in the hot tub from the wrestling business. There's never been a ton more in there. There's been a few people in the hot tub. But the point is, I got the short end on the internet, by the way. Stacey was the one depicted as having all the fun, and I got another. Over 20 years, it's worked out approximately even. But the point is, seriously, folks, you're going to take this and run with it and believe something like that. And then if it can't be that it's bad about me from a business standpoint, the professional accusations aren't true. And that was how it hurt me the worst. Because, of course, you know me, I don't have human feelings and I don't give a shit what people say. But I was indignant that people would say that I'd fucking monkeyed with my job or the business or other people's jobs. But then it becomes, oh, my God, they're crazed sex maniacs. And that's the thing. I'll talk about this in a second. But, folks, I know some of the Louisville area wrestling marks grew up thinking that Stacey led an evil band of satanic sex cultists.
She was almost like the Dungeon of Doom head of like the Louisville version of Dungeon of Doom.
Asterios Cochinos is the best guest. Please talk about how
As-
shoestring
we're
French
just-
fries are the
Asterios
best and how wedges
Kakinos?
are
He's
pure
not on here
garbage.
right now.
Kakinos.
I don't know who that is. Asterios Kakinos.
Coconuts.
Oh.
Hey, you give us $20, you can call me whatever you want. Thanks,
Yeah.
Brain.
You can spit in my
Disciples
face.
and fucking worship evil, but she just played one on television. But back to Billings' tweet. So that was the charges on me. We've dismissed that shit.
All right.
The proof
Hey.
of this.
Oh, hey. Pause for like, do you mind if we maybe wrap up this topic just because I don't know that there's too much more to say. Like, I think a good place just for me to end on this topic is like right now podcasts and Reddit and Twitter, they kind of create this false sense of urgency that you have to decide right away. Is Jim Cornette a sexual abuser or is he an innocent man? And it's kind of like, can't we all just be adults and go, hey, it seems like there's some stories out there. Right now, there's not enough information. Right now, there's not enough information to truly know either way. Innocent until proven guilty. Let's just see if more allegations surface. Why do we have to rush right away to like?
Thanks for eating up all my content I had
Twitter
planned for
said so.
tonight, Asterios.
I'm sorry, what was that, Ben? I couldn't hear you. No, I legitimately couldn't hear you. Your mic was peaking.
It wasn't because I was angry at you.
He was
or anything.
angry.
You're allowed to be. Look, everyone's angry at me. I've been sued for $370 million. I'm an annoying guy. Like that's my thing. But that's just my
brand.
That's just my take. It's kind of like let's see what happens here. The thing that really fucking rustles my jimmies is what Will Ospreay did to Pollyanna.
You know, the guy who sued Asterios, the day before he actually issued the lawsuit, he was on this channel actually live.
That's right.
And he gave me a list of words that he wanted banned from this channel before we went live. No one before or after has ever done that. And I banned them all. And I ended up having to refund $2,000 worth of super chats and Streamlabs because of it. And then I went live on stage and read them line by line, which together didn't mean anything.
I was gone for 30 minutes and Jim Cornette is still on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're about to
Turns out he's a really bad dude. He eats
No.
babies and Thanos snaps and doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I want to talk about Jenna Marbles is the thing because like I don't know shit about that. I used to work.
I want to
with Jenna
say
Marbles.
this. I don't want to hate. She's talented or whatever. I thought she was attractive, and then I saw this video.
Wow, she's sad. She didn't get dolled up for a video because she's sad.
No. Okay. Okay. All right. I'll play it for you. Whatever.
All right, so I get it. Feel like we're at a time.
Oh God! A woman in
where-
her 30s closed the camera immediately. Oh no!
Send it back to hell.
We are purging
wearing
ourselves
Kill it with
of
fire.
anything and everything toxic.
Now, can you pause for a sec? Now, I know who Jenna Marbles is, obviously. But for all the people watching who don't know who Jenna Marbles is, maybe you should tell. Like, I know, but
Jenna
but can
Marbles
you
is one of the
tell them?
original YouTube stars. She's like the original
Show her tits?
YouTube star. She makes a lot of videos that are cute and funny and moderately racist for their time because she was around 15 years ago.
That sounds like me. It sounds like a girl me.
She's just you.
She's just you.
And she'll go in and say some things about why she's being canceled.
All right.
This is Jenna Marbles. This is from her video?
It's just Jenna Marbles.
This is who was just talking?
Yes.
Can you only,
Yes.
Can you only complete to low resolution porn from the 90s? Like, can you only complete to bitmap
I'm a
files?
144p
Yes, I
kinda man.
can. I can.
She was
easily.
hot on a 56K modem. This is Jenna Marbles.
Yeah.
the girl that we were
Is this
just
her
looking at.
apology video? I like her wardrobe choice.
I know.
All right.
It's
so
too
I
late
get
to
it.
say sorry now.
Feel like
Where'd
we're
your
at
tits
a
go?
time where we are purging ourselves of anything and everything toxic, and I'm being requested that I address things that I've done in my
Asterios,
past.
if you want to fucking simp
I also
to
get
my
a lot of
audience,
tweets from people that are.
I am gonna fucking leg drop your ass.
Is Asterios simping?
Yeah, he is.
How?
I'm gonna sue his ass next. Let's see if he can
Uh-oh.
recover from that one.
Uh-oh.
We're starting a
in the-
class action
I'm-
suit against you.
Well, I have no class to begin with, so I'm not super worried about it, and I rarely get any action. I'm in the chat telling people, you're welcome. I got us to not talk about Jim Cornette for 2 hours tonight. And by the way, I could talk about Jim Cornette for 5 hours. It's just like, at some point, it's like, we get it. We don't know what's happening. Maybe this guy gets into, we don't
I know what's happening. Jim Cornette is innocent, but you want to talk about Jenna Marbles? You're welcome, everyone.
Because I don't know what the controversy is. Like,
You
the thing
lying
I like
sack
about
of shit.
I don't know what the controversy is. The thing I like about coming on Drunken Peasants is you guys often teach me who these internet people are.
I
didn't
love
know
learning
who,
about internet people.
I didn't know who Onion Sun was until I came on this show, and then it's like, oh, this guy used to know Onion Sun.
Yeah.
They're saying like,
It's interesting
"We love
to
you,
me.
you unproblematic queen."
Yeah, I didn't know.
Which always makes me uncomfortable because I'm a person. Those of you that are familiar with how long I've been on the internet know that that's not true. That I've definitely done things in the past that weren't great, and I'm not completely unproblematic. And I've tried my best to grow up and to be a better person. And first and foremost, I want everyone
Can
to
we go back
know
to Jim
that
Cornette now?
I've always been a two-way street, and that any time that you criticize
I didn't
me
even
and
want to
tell
go
me
to this.
that you would like me to do better or
Jeez,
to
the title
do something
of the
differently,
episode.
that
You
I
put
always
her in
try
the
to do
title
that,
of this
and I try to
episode.
make fun content, inclusive content, things that don't offend people or upset people, and that's kind
Jenna,
of
what did you do? What
where
did
I
she?
am.
What thing did
There's
she
a couple
say?
things
Why
that
is she
people
being
want me
canceled?
to address and apologize for, and I'm happy to do that because what I want from the people that I support and that I like is to have accountability
She
and
wears
to
so
know.
much bronzer that people thought it was blackface. What did she do?
She did
Yeah.
do blackface.
Yeah,
that
she's
I'm
gonna show that in a
supporting
second
someone
here.
whose morals and values align with my own, and yeah, there's things in my past I'm not proud of, and I'm getting a lot of tweets from people saying, "Why have you privated all these old videos?" And I've spent a lot of the last few days privating almost all of my old content, and I'm sorry if any of that holds any nostalgia for you, but I'm literally not trying to put out negative things into the world. I think there was a time when having all of my old content exist on the internet showed how much I have grown up as a person, which I'm very proud of. And I think now it's hard for that content to exist at all because I think people watch it and don't bother to look at when it was posted or, care about what path I took to get to where I am. It offends them now. And if that's the case, where people will watch something and be offended now, I don't want it to exist. So I've privated a lot of my old content.
So she privated
because I
her old
just
content.
Don't want
Because-
anyone
Can you imagine
to feel upset
what
about
an
anything.
absolute
I
hero she would
don't
be
wanna
if she
contribute
did
to
this
that.
video
I don't
in blackface?
want- I don't care. I don't care. I just
Be
don't care. I don't
amazing.
want someone to watch something and feel hurt or offended now for any reason.
Can we
at
pause
all.
for a
The
sec?
first two things that I
Yeah.
would like to address is
I want to say I do this too. Like sometimes a fan will get in touch with me and they'll be like, "Why are all your old tweets deleted?" And it's kind of like,
the answer is because I'm a coward.
yes, exactly, because I don't respect free speech.
Correct.
And I want to step on your frozen peaches. No, it's because it's like the only people who are going through your back catalog are people that hate you and are looking to cancel you.
Correct.
It's kind of like Jenna Marbles should be deleting her old content from 2003. It's only a liability. Like, people should be watching her newest vlogs. Like, the stuff that she's proudest of now that has the highest production value, that's the closest to her current voice. It's like, artists evolve. I don't know why people are upset at her for deleting old shit. It's good PR. What do you guys think?
I think her deleting it and what this video leads to are two different things.
I don't know where we're going in this
Yeah,
video.
we'll see.
Like, I don't.
We'll see.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where the video goes. I think it's too bad that you have to delete your old stuff. I think that sucks. I think
You shouldn't be a person shouldn't be held accountable for something they did 10 years ago.
You can be held accountable 10 years ago. If what you did 10 years ago was bad 10 years ago, you get held accountable for it.
Yeah, if you're
Sammy Guevara just got canceled for something that happened 4 years ago. It's like it's unfortunate. Like, the time we live in is kill or be killed, and it's like, I think it makes sense to preemptively stop your haters from trying to cancel you.
if you've improved as a human being and you've proved it to people, you shouldn't be held accountable for something you did a decade ago, like James Gunn for his stupid fucking tweets he posted. He shouldn't have been held accountable for that 10 years later. They were.
I totally agree with you. That was the case of Mike Cernovich trying to cancel a guy.
Yeah.
Like, Cernovich didn't like guns politics and weaponized cancel culture. It's like, I agree with you that, like, in a perfect world we wouldn't all be trying to murder each other. It's just like, it sucks. Yeah. We're in a weird world where we're all trying to murder each other.
But right now this murdering turns everybody watching into the gun. Right? Like, everybody at home on their Twitter account is now the gun.
Yeah.
And you direct the gun at all these fucking people at somebody. They're all your little bullshit bullets. And that's the problem. We can't give people the power to turn the masses into their little fucking weapons. That's not cool. We should be fighting against that.
Twitter.
The only way this gets fixed is when we all get canceled.
Yeah, let's do it.
The great canceling.
I'm up for it.
Wasn't there like a movie about that?
Going. Sorry. Oh, was there?
Where everybody gets like their deepest secrets revealed? I think it was like a horror movie that came out 3 years ago. I can't remember. It's great.
I don't know.
Well, please keep going. Sorry to interrupt.
That there are people that were offended that I did blackface as Nicki Minaj in 2011. And
in 2011,
the clip.
A good year.
Incredibly cringy and embarrassing.
The golden age of blackface.
What the fuck is on her computer?
It has been private for quite some time, but it looks like this.
That's like tan face. That's not even black.
And I do just want to tell you that it was not my intention to do blackface. This is the end of the video where I took my wig off. I don't know how else
Was
to
she
say
have like
this,
bronzer on?
but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Well, wait, was she
because
doing
all
an
that matters
impression of
is that
somebody?
people
Of
are
Nicki
fucking
Minaj, yeah.
And
She's doing an impression of Nicki Minaj.
I will say, the other night we had Hannibal and
Jimmy
Monty
Kimmel was on.
Well, we had Hannibal and Monty on, who are black guys.
We had Karl
and-
Malone and Jimmy Kimmel on.
Well, we had Jimmy Kimmel doing Karl Malone, and they said that was okay.
And I heard
they
you
did
had
say
Jimmy
that.
Fallon on.
Well,
Didn't you have
and
Jimmy Fallon on
here's the
doing
thing
a
I'm
Chris
confused
Rock
about, and I should have asked them about it. They said it's okay to do blackface when the joke is funny. So is it like, I mean, like, is someone gonna risk their reputation doing a joke that might not be funny?
You're goddamn right.
And
I am.
only if it's funny, you're gonna do the joke? I don't agree.
I am this confident that it's funny.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do it if it's not funny.
Yeah.
If you want to do it and you fail, that's dumb. It's your fault. You deserve to fail. You made a mistake. It's like driving your car off a bridge. But driving your car on two wheels up the fucking rail of a bridge and making it over the bridge is amazing.
You're a king.
You're a king. But if you roll off the bridge and die, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For that, I am so unbelievably sorry that this isn't okay. And it hasn't existed on the internet for a long time because it's
What
not
kind
okay.
of fucking production is this? Come on, Jenna. What the fuck?
And
she's sad.
I haven't done anything remotely like that because I heard people say this
She
is
learned.
blackface
She
and I
learned.
don't like that. And
She learned.
I just would never want to put that into the world.
I like
So
to
this has been
pause
private
again,
for a
just
long
now that
time.
I know what the
But
story
I
is
do
here.
want to tell
Yeah.
you how
like at this point, so many people have ironically done blackface. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and also this week Tina Fey pulled several episodes of 30 Rock,
which sucks because they're good episodes.
which are I love 30 Rock's one of my favorite shows. Tina Fey pulled several episodes of 30 Rock because like Jenna Maloney was doing blackface, and it's kind of like Jenna Marbles. This is actually the safest time for you to be apologizing for blackface because it's like no one's going to try to cancel you. They're all going to try to cancel Fallon and Kimmel and Tina Fey, these huge super liberals. Jenna Marbles, you've hit the blackface lottery.
unbelievably sorry I am if I ever offended you by posting this video or by doing this impression, and that was never my intention. It's not okay. It's shameful. It's awful.
So, Asterios, as a comedian, do you walk back on jokes?
You can't. You can only move forward. Unless you no longer agree with it. Like I, when I was in my early 20s, I put out some offensive stuff.
Like your pro-Holocaust material has not aged well, let's say.
Well, no, obviously I still agree with that.
And you say you love Hobbit coffee, which is against dwarves.
I mean, I'm sorry, Asterios, but that was more amateur Holocaust material, to be honest.
Got his ass.
If it even her. It's what's the deal? It's kind of like I feel like here's a trap that comedians get stuck in. They refuse to admit that they've grown up. The thing is, like, if you're Jenna Marbles and you no longer think this is funny, I think you should be able to get on the internet and go like, yeah, I thought this was funny and now I don't. And it's kind of like that's all you can do. You know what I mean? I think that, there's like a weird thing like with 30 Rock, for example. 30 Rock, I think, is the best example of this current phenomenon. Because the joke is that Jenna Maloney is stupid and wrong.
Yeah, the joke is on Jenna. She's like, do you believe this idiot is doing blackface? That's the joke. The joke isn't haha blackface.
Yeah.
But all people see is blackface, and they're like, that's not allowed under any circumstance.
Nuance is
You're
dead.
canceled.
Let me I want to kind of like lay out a point that I think is kind of interesting, at least to me, or obviously in Tropic Thunder,
Oscar nominated.
Right. What's his name is obviously he's making fun of method actors. So granted, there's a satirical point there. We're not supposed to be holding these guys up in esteem. At the same time, it's kind of like, I feel like that satirical point isn't very sharp, and it's nothing that I haven't heard before. What's that? Actors are stupid, and dressing up in blackface would be stupid? Wow, I had no idea racism was wrong. What a brave satirical point you're making, that like a stupid guy being racist is stupid. It's kind of like you gotta shoot your shot. Like if you're gonna be offensive, try to be offensive in a way where you're making a point that no one else has made before. I would hope. I know that's a complicated.
I don't know. Jane Krakowski in like blackface and female drag singing "Ease on Down the Road" is pretty funny.
I know it's difficult because it's kind of like obviously Tropic Thunder is hysterical. It's just here's
the thing with Tropic Thunder. Here's the thing with Tropic Thunder. Robert Downey Jr. is playing a white guy who was surgically altered to be a black guy. It's not blackface, and he's a method actor, right?
Right.
The
and then
joke
there's a
is on
black
method
guy,
acting.
and the whole movie, there's a real black guy behind him questioning everything he does. When he's like, "What's wrong with you people?" He's like, "What do you mean, you people?" So that's the hilarious thing about it. That's the joke right there. It's a too intelligent joke for a lot of idiots
The
that don't
problem is
understand
people went full retard on that movie.
That was another thing. You know what? I want to tell you. I want to tell you this. I used to work at a phone company, and we used to have team meetings. A group of like 15 to 20 people, a team.
Right.
Even though we all worked against each other, honestly, and like the stats and everything, we had teams. And we were hanging out, having a good time. It was always good to have time off the phones. And our supervisor was like, yeah, you know, hang out, we're hanging out. He was like, don't go full retard. He like made a joke about going full retard. And then the one bitch in the room reported us all for laughing at him saying don't go full retard, like quoting the movie.
Canceled.
She was woke. She was woke.
You got
throw her ass in the fucking ocean. Fucking build a raft for this bitch and float her out into the Pacific.
Whoa. Not just the Pacific Ocean, the Pacific Ocean.
Yes.
Specifically the Pacific.
It's more beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, you get a sunset.
It is beautiful.
The sun shining.
It's in a lot of people's best interest to make this stuff as simple as possible because then you can have a culture war that you profit off of.
She
There's
happened
like
to have
ton
a
of guys-
retarded sister. Whatever.
She had a slight case of Down syndrome.
Her sister also had a retarded sister.
Oof.
Float them both out to sea.
Rude. Garbage Island, I heard the comment in chat.
All right.
It wasn't part of my past. The next thing that I want to address. Okay, this is also from 2011. A bad year for me in judgment, apparently. This video is called Bounce That Dick. This has also been made private. I don't want to offend anyone.
How much money did you make off of it?
Not interested in it.
Oh, she made
I'm not
tons.
interested in
Oh, what year was it?
2011.
Oh my God! Fuck yeah! You made thousands of dollars off of this. How many views does that video have?
60 million.
Oh my God! You made tens of thousands of dollars.
She bought
off
this
that.
house off of that video.
Yes.
This is her vacation
Yeah, dude.
house,
In
by the way.
2011, if you got 60 million views on a video, that was like a whole year's worth of pay for
This
most
is
people.
the house that Bounce That Dick built.
And making anyone feel bad.
It says
in case
that on
you
the
haven't
plaque
noticed.
outside.
Here's the clip. I will play it for you. Here, hold on. Let me remind you.
Is she doing yellow face?
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's Timothy
She's
De
like, sorry,
Legato.
that was
She
racist.
said, sorry, that was racist.
Yeah.
She said it.
And Timothy De Legato's
So
and they're
as
like,
you
no,
can see, I
bitch.
said, hey, ching chong wing wong. Shake your King Kong ding dong. Sorry, that was racist. I'm bad at rap songs.
Oh my God.
It's awful. It doesn't need to exist.
I
It's
cringed when she
inexcusable.
explained
it's not
it.
okay. I'm incredibly sorry.
I wasn't
if
expecting
this offended
Bounce
you.
That Dick
Then,
to have
now,
yellow face.
whenever.
That is not where I thought
It
that
doesn't
would
need
go.
to exist.
Yeah.
She's a very
Shouldn't have
expensive
existed.
artist. Who knows
Shouldn't
where her
have said
dollars
that.
will take her.
I want to say this. That was actually pretty forward at the time because the real racist undertone was the Asian men had small penises. And in her racism, she called out that he had a King Kong ding dong, breaking the stereotype. She is the breaker of chains.
She's, she's something of a woke queen.
She's woke queen. Yes.
It's not cool. It's not cute. It's not okay. And I'm embarrassed that I ever made that. Period. The next thing I would like to apologize
It is
for
embarrassing.
is
You should
a
be
video
embarrassed
I
you
posted
made
in
that
2012
period. It was
and
disgusting.
made private shortly thereafter. This was one of the hardest years of my life, and I made a video that came across unbelievably slut-shamey. And I'm sorry. I just fucked up. I ranted about girls that ran around and slept around, and that's wrong. I had a lot of internalized misogyny, I feel like, at that time in my life. And I'm
Blame it
sorry.
on the man.
A woman
if I
who
ever
hates other
offended you
women?
with
Never
the things
seen
that I
such
said
a thing.
in that video. And that video's been private for a long time.
Mean Girls
Does not reflect
is a
my
documentary on internalized
attitude to
misogyny.
anyone in their bodies.
Is there
And
anything worse than comedians talking about
that's
comedy?
really
This
hate
is,
it.
This is
It's
terrible.
I-
I kind of want to see more racist clips because it's like,
Yeah,
hey, can I see
show
some
Yeah.
jokes, lady?
This is like how I go and masturbate to really dirty shit after watching Jerry Seinfeld's comedians in cars getting coffee. I can't stand it when comedians talk. It makes me want to fucking watch dog porn.
Now imagine if it was comedians in cars getting cummed on. Wouldn't that be a lot
Hey,
more
whoa,
fun?
whoa, whoa. Why doesn't Pornhub have this yet?
That's true. I see 4 comedians right here.
Side for a long
Asterios,
time. And I just wanted to
Bakakinos?
tell you I'm sorry if I ever made you feel bad about yourself or your choices or anything. There's no one demanding an apology for that video of me.
Pause it. She's getting out in front of this.
She's good. She knows what she's doing.
So no one is trying to cancel her?
No. This
is the smartest. This is the smartest PR move I've ever seen, and I spent 5 years working at a PR organization. Jim Cornette has had some fantastic PR today, but Jenna Marbles takes the cake. She's out there jumping in front of a bullet that she's shooting so we can all feel bad for her. It's like when Ozymandias sent that assassin to kill him to throw Rorschach off the scent.
Now, PR, are we talking about Puerto Ricans? What are we talking about?
We're talking about personal responsibility, and you need to take some, Scott.
You know what?
For that big old dick of yours. Get that thing over here.
That King Kong ding dong.
It's a big cat dick. It's spiky. You know, cat dicks are all spiky. You would know this, right?
It is dangerous.
Yeah, it helps him stay in long.
He's got a cleft palate. His dick has a cleft palate.
Hate it. The only thing sharper than Scott's comedic barbs are the barbs on his cat penis.
Boom.
Meow.
You know what? I'm gonna go out on your joke because I do have to go.
Yeah, it's getting late. Let's
goodbye,
go to the
Scott.
Oh, let's go to the.
I gotta go. It's my mama's birthday, so I have to go kiss her on
Happy
the
birthday,
lips.
Mama.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Hi, Scott. It was good hanging out.
Good hanging out. I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
And people watching, I'll see you tomorrow. For
Yes.
Actual Mania.
Yes, Scott will be with us for Actual Mania tomorrow.
Yes.
Incredibly be present for Actual Mania.
Yes.
What time is that?
Like 6.
Oh,
6
okay.
Pacific.
If you need an extra guest, let me know because I'm free tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. I mean, we'll have you on too.
Sweet.
All
right.
I like Actual Mania. It's a great
See you guys
format.
later.
Right, bye.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So guys, she's pre-canceling herself. What do you think of that?
Well, she's not just pre-canceling herself. She's also, like, we get to the point in the video, she pretty much gives up on YouTube. Is that part of the PR? Is that part of the PR?
No.
Yes, taking a break is a well-worn PR strategy.
Okay.
The reason that Louis C.K. didn't get away with it is that he only took 9 months off. If he had stayed away for 2 years, no one would have cared.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Mel Gibson. A tape comes out of Mel Gibson saying anti-Semitic things. He goes away for 5 years, and now, he's in indie movies. Like a big part of PR is time.
Yeah.
Because then when you come back, everyone's so happy to see you.
Stabby McHug says, Billy the Fridge, is there anything you want to confess, get out ahead of? Yeah, I would like to confess that I wish I did something bad to somebody, because I would love to have to deal with something like this, but I'm such a sweet boy. I'm never going to get blindsided.
Just, you know what? Put it on my tab. Here's another thing I'm sorry for. I'm also sorry for, I used to make a lot of content about, like, what girls...
I hate how she has one hoodie string, like, way down here, and the other one, like, all the way up here.
Man, I tell you, though, we do that sometimes.
No.
We do that.
What do you mean
we? I do the same thing. It's
Fuck
why
you.
when I notice it, I hate it too, but I didn't notice it till afterwards.
What guys do...
Don't you guys get it? It's a semiotic signifier for a noose. She's being hung by cancel culture.
Oh my God, Asterios, we needed you here for this.
No, at the
She's
time,
wearing a
there were
choker.
people that...
All right, so I see
Cancel
Jeff
culture.
Holiday in the chat. If Jeff Holiday wants to fill in for...
Yeah, we have an open hole if you want to jump into our
if
hole.
you want to jump in.
I gotta go take a piss real quick. Get him in here.
I'll just add him to the group regardless.
Get it. I saw Pimp Monk in chat earlier too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I also saw President Barack Obama in chat earlier. If he would like to join us, President Barack Obama, ex-President Barack Obama.
Bronco Obama.
Kenya-born Bronco Bomber. You can join us too.
enjoyed those videos, but I have privated all of them because I don't think that making jokes about your gender is funny. And I know that there's a lot of people that struggle with their identity and that have varying fluid identities or anything. And I just don't want content in the world that's...
Was Davi Vanity in our chat?
There was somebody who claimed to be Davi Vanity in my chat yesterday.
You know what? YouTube took away the ability to like click on someone's if they
which
comment.
is crazy because what
Isn't
if you
that
wanted to
stupid?
moderate? What if you want to moderate somebody?
Yeah, because like you can go to any stream like with a fake account for anybody.
Yeah.
I can go into a stream with a fake Billy the Fridge account.
Please don't.
And they can't even like
do
verify. Well, I'm only
don't.
giving people ideas, right?
Ben, don't.
Right?
Don't.
Damn, I was so blacked out.
He's just asking questions.
It's like, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. You know, it doesn't make sense. It can be hurtful, it can be harmful, and I don't want it there. Another thing that I would like to address is when people tweet at me, I can't believe you'd be friends with this person or follow this person that's racist or, you know, done these terrible things. And the only thing I would like to say is that I'm just a person trying to navigate the world the same way that you are. So I don't always know what's right, what's wrong, what the truth is, and...
You live in a really nice house, though.
I'm just
And
trying
by the way, I'd like to point out, she's taping from her least nice guest house. Like, she had to, like, fly to find the shittiest living room she owned to tape this video where she's crying about a situation she's creating.
How do you know, though?
And
How do you know this is her least nice guest house?
And she still left her secondary extra MacBook on the chair behind her when she has her main MacBook
that.
up front.
Yes.
She just has accidental MacBook left in the background.
This is the best thing I've ever seen. I'm so happy. It's weird because sometimes I'll come on this show and you'll show me like some gremlin guy who sells magic wands and puts them up his ass.
That's King Cobra JFS. He's famous, bro.
That's what's up.
I don't know his name. I just hate him. And like sometimes you'll be like, here's a 400-pound racist lady who fucks a weird like a Where's Waldo looking motherfucker. But this is very entertaining.
as someone clearly with their own past that they're not proud of, I do just try to see people for who they are right now, today, and that they're not defined by their past. And I understand. I'm trying to do the same thing that you are and support and be friends with people that I'm proud of and that I love. And I'm just know that I'm doing my best. And I don't know. You know, I try.
Leave me alone. No.
Yeah, if she does quit YouTube over this, she'll be fine. Like, she's set for life.
Yes.
She's gonna YouTube over this to make an indie film, and then when she comes back, she'll be like, "Oh, here's the thing I made with my high." It's like, this is the most This is more calculated than a graphing calculator. I love this.
Just do what I can, and I'm not trying to let anyone down or hurt anyone or upset anyone. I'm just not. That being said, I've privated a lot of my old content. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't. In case you guys haven't noticed, there's no sponsors on this channel. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Like, I'm literally just here to have a good time. And I don't think I'm having a good time. And it seems like maybe some other people aren't having a good time. So for now, I just can't exist on this channel. Hopefully I've taken down anything that would upset someone. And I hope you know that that's just not my intent. That's not what I ever set out to do, to hurt anyone's feelings or to make anyone feel bad. So I don't want to be like upset while I say this, so give me a second. So I think I'm just gonna move on from this channel for now. I don't know if that's forever.
For now.
I don't know how long it's gonna be.
This is brilliant.
Yes.
Hey,
it is.
Jeff.
Hey.
Holiday, you can back me up on my take on this, right? Have you been listening or have you been jerking off?
I was
Both.
jerking off and listening.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. This is brilliant marketing. Because like if you go If you go and you look on Twitter now for Jenna Marbles, overwhelming support. Jenna, we're all human. We're here for you. It's so sweet of you. Dude, brilliant. Mwah, perfect. Perfect.
This is really smart.
Yeah. Very,
Wow. Wow.
I want to make sure that the things that I put into the world are not hurting anyone. And yeah, I'm just going to stop for now or forever. I don't know. I would probably.
You can stop forever. You could. How much did you make like circa 2011 to 2016 when the adpocalypse happened? I'm guessing like $5 to $6 million.
Yes.
Probably more.
And and I don't know, maybe Jeff Holiday will back me up, or maybe he'll disagree. The other intelligent thing about this is it opens her up to a new conservative audience, because they can be like, cancel culture terrified this comedian off the internet. This is like, it's a soft, it opens her up in a soft play way to conservatives. Holiday, what do you think?
I mean, well, look, if Jenna was more into the political sphere, I think I would knee-jerk immediately be like, yes, absolutely 100%. I think she might actually be too rich to give a shit about politics. Yeah. I think she might have made enough, that magical number where suddenly you just don't give a shit anymore. I don't know. But, I've been surprised before. So this, I mean, it could all be a grift. It could,
I mean, everything is both. It's like she's crying right now because she probably does feel bad about these jokes. She's also crying because she doesn't want to lose her career. It's like two things can be true.
It's it's interesting too, because I mean, like they do this. God, I wish I could remember what fucking movie it was. There's a brilliant movie that dealt with this. How like a celebrity going through addiction is actually super, super good. And they've got it down to a fucking flow chart of like, all right, so you have a fucking crisis. We book you into this treatment center. These are how we fool people into thinking that you're getting better. And then there's the reunion tour. And the reunion tour, big fucking money, man. Big money.
There is a playbook. There is a cycle. It's like, and you're absolutely, because what it sets you up for is the big comeback. Like, the most difficult thing about content is you have to make your own news. And like today, Jenna Marbles made her own news, and then when she comes back, that's the beginning of another news cycle, the Jenna Marbles comeback tour.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's weird too, because like we have. Everybody who watches YouTube is we're all ferrets. We're all fucking ferrets.
Ferrets are cute as fuck, by the way.
They are, but they have the attention span of ferrets. Figure that one out. And so, like, we're all very easily distracted. I can't remember the last time I gave a shit about Jenna Marbles, but I give a shit today.
Take this video down.
Exactly.
Because it's embarrassing, and just let whatever, just live and just be. That's it. I want to say thank you.
Honestly, if there was like a DP episode where people were like, hey, that old DP episode from 4 years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, take it down. I'd be like, no, it stands as a testament to how we thought at the time, and I don't agree with it now. Or depending on what it is. I mean, I'd say I still agree with that. I still hold strong to that. But, not everything holds up, sure.
Definitely not everything.
I'll address it. Of course it doesn't. I'm not going to erase it though. I refuse to erase it. It's there forever, and it's worse on me. There's a video document of me saying something politically incorrect at one point. I want it to stay there, and you can come to me today for that.
I've never done anything wrong on the internet.
Liar.
Amen. Me neither.
You're the founder of Kekistan.
I don't even know what that is, Benjamin.
My old internet was
what?
My old internet videos.
Do you remember Kekistan, Asterios?
Of course I remember. Because there's a picture of Mannix next to the flag.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Dude,
was
he
there.
was there. He was there. He's the founder of Kekistan. Jeff Holiday is the founder of Kekistan. The founder of Kekistan.
One of. He's co-founder.
Five of them.
He's co-founder Dave Thomas.
We didn't really found it either. We stole it from fucking 4chan.
Oh no.
Whatever.
Oh no. I've actually
and
gone
Jeff
back.
Serious is like, I thought I knew you.
Oh no.
After
I mean, who you are today is what matters. And
I
what
got
you
him
believe
kicked out of
today.
an Uber because of it.
He did.
After Asterios
Have you seen that,
explains
Asterios?
this-
No.
Oh, hold on. I'll show you in a second.
But I'm sorry, Billy. What were you saying, Billy?
The way you
I'm sorry,
explain this, the way you explain how she's apologizing just to have her redemption comeback, and it's all part of like a marketing plan, it makes me want to go CGI blackface in my old videos, and then I could apologize for it. I could George Lucas it, right?
That's really smart.
And I could apologize. I'm like, hey guys, I did blackface and Greedo shot first. I'm so sorry.
For your support. For those of you that
you're brilliant.
care about me and have been watching me for a long time, I appreciate it. I want to hold myself accountable, and it's painful to do it, and it's not fun, and it hurts.
That dog has some sort of scoliosis problem.
Check this out.
Upload this.
I have a joint in my fingers too, by the way. Well,
I miss weeds.
Hold on. This was during the PAX West video game convention.
This is alt-right creator of Kekistan, Jeff Holiday, a member of the alt-right, a disgusting individual.
Don't fuck with me.
He's right now. He's hiding now. We all see him now. What a disgusting piece of shit.
This is right downtown in fucking Seattle.
Yeah.
One of the busiest times of the year too.
We are Kekistan. Is that what you stand for, Jeff Holiday? You want to hear what's popular radio?
Jeff docks it.
And then they all get into the car.
Doc Holiday.
And then they have to get out. They get kicked out.
Hold on, who's this giant man coming out of the back of the car? What is this?
They all get out.
Oh, is it Barry the
He just got us kicked out.
The driver was like, Kekistan, no, you get out.
Wait, but that...
Get out.
I got my Prince Purple Rain shirt on. Proves I'm not a racist, by the way.
All right, Billy, I'm really sorry that my extremist past got us kicked out of.
Yeah, it's disgraceful.
How the hell did the Uber driver even know about deep internet culture? Did he think you said Kazakhstan or something?
Yeah, I will not put
baby.
Kazakhstan in this cab. Get out.
He said, I saw you next to that cuck. You get out of here.
Hang on, though. That Uber driver, was that Yoda?
That's fucking great.
That was Spec.
Good old Spec.
Later on that night, Jeff made out with Spec. You know, it happens.
It wasn't just making out, all right?
Yeah, Jeff Holiday butt fucks Spec. Full on cornhole.
Mm-hmm.
Canceled.
Do you think we call it cornholing because of Jim Cornette?
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
hope so.
I hope so too.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the portion of the show where I go
Show
to
them
pee.
the. Oh God.
Oh.
Okay.
And then I'll show you my
take a
little
picture
bird.
sitting for 3 fucking hours.
Oh my God.
So
That's how
what's on the? Is there a post show tonight? What's on the post show? What's going on after this?
We're gonna do the post show on twitch.tv/drunken peasants because we're really trying to build up the Twitch channel these days. And if all of you want to tag along, we can do that. Also, holy shit.
Oh,
the actual maniacs are in. Giant fucking bags of actual maniacs are in.
That's
When you
badass.
say in, do you mean in your asshole? Have they been? How many of
If
them?
you're
have been in your
lucky.
I'm really sad. It looks like the Chaz is getting taken down before me and Joe can go up there together.
Yeah, I heard that people are voluntarily leaving now. Like just because we're kind of having a PR night, like the PR advice I gave to we did an episode about the Chaz on my podcast, and we actually interviewed a guy. We sent a correspondent into the Chaz to ask people what the letters in Chaz stood for, and none of them knew. Like no one in the CHOP or the Chaz knew what CHOP or Chaz stood for. I think the smart play there. I remember early on, I was just like, they should all leave the Chaz before someone gets murdered there. Because this is America. People are getting murdered constantly in every block. And it's like, and then they overstayed their welcome and 2 people got shot. It's like, ugh. It sucks.
Yeah. It's, so back during like the Occupy movement and shit, they had an Occupy village that they built up right across from City Hall in Portland. And that fucking thing was there for like 6-7 months, something like that. It was fucking nuts, dude. It was really crazy. And yeah, like they had some down here in Eugene. They always turn into a shit show. Like I'm pretty sure everybody kind of expected that it was going to as well. It was just a publicity stunt. That's what they always are. And then there's people who just like need a place to crash, and they're good bodies to, like, you know, hold our place. We'll give you a place to sleep, you know, whatever. But yeah, it'll always fall apart.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, interesting with the Los Angeles Occupy Village, you know, was on the steps of City Hall. Like when they showed up, and when they arrived, like the Los Angeles City Council literally drew up and read a proclamation welcoming them. And then in the end, the LAPD busted so many heads, and they threw the arrested, uncharged protesters in the basement of Dodger Stadium. There's like a horrifying account. There's like a horrifying account of the dismantling of Occupy LA by like a writer for Family Guy. Like he wrote a big long blog piece about it. And so I was hoping that the CHOP would kind of take some lessons from Occupy, like get in, get some good press, get out, run for mayor. Like get in, get some good press, get out, form a thing called the CHOP Party, and get some seats on the city council. Because like if it's just like, you know, you got this clout, you have people's attention, use it.
I mean, there are some people who are, and there's some people who are speaking out against those people for doing it, and they're saying, well, this is not what this movement's about. You're not my mayor, you're not my king. And then...
Oh, dude. Yeah, the mayor here, by all parts, on the grand scale of the country, is very progressive. But they want her gone.
Yeah.
Who does? The Chaz people?
Yes, they do. They want Jenny Durkin. They want Jenny Durkin gone.
She was really chilled with them, too. She was super chill with
She's
them.
the first, like, lesbian mayor of a major city, I think, in America, right?
Was she chill?
I mean,
she went down there every single day for
she said it was the
5
summer of
days
love.
straight.
She put now they're throwing her under the bus for saying that. She was like, this could be the summer of love. Like these people gathering together and protest, it could be the next summer of love. She literally said that.
I mean, it's kind of silly, but look, here I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, because like, despite the fact that some people think I'm like very pro Chaz or Chop or whatever the fuck, I'm just realistic about it. That's the truth. But here's the thing. I'll play a little bit of devil's advocate, and I'll tell you why this ultimately wasn't a total failure. And in fact, it kind of, in a weird way, was a win. Whether it lasted or not, whether it turned into a shit show or not, it proved that with enough angry fucking people, you can actually take over city blocks and evict the police. Whether that's true or not. Now it's in the national consciousness that you can do that. And so, I mean, that's an example that people can...
I wish that instead of that, the national conscience was you can vote for a third party. Instead of taking over a police station, I wish it was like, we don't need to vote for Republicans and Democrats.
Nobody took over a police station. The police abandoned the station.
Yeah, because I know your buddy ran it.
No, that's what happened.
Okay.
These people weren't there to take over a police station. The police
That is what
abandoned it.
It is what happened.
The police abandoned it, and these people were like, well, we're protesting, and the police
Why-
left, so we're going to stand our ground and continue protesting. Because the only thing making the protests violent, from their protests, were the cops shooting tear gas at them.
Yep.
And you remove the
Agreed,
cops,
agreed.
and there was some violence, but guess what? There's always been violence down there. It's Capitol Hill.
Not that kind of violence. Dude,
Gang
this is
violence,
such
yes,
a
there's been
fucking-
gang violence there.
That's so much
Yeah.
topsy-turvy logic around. I mean, seriously.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, like, I don't think you can say it one way or the other. Like, okay, here's another one that was really driving me fucking crazy. So when the riots happened, obviously I condemn all the fucking rioting and shit. Don't loot. Don't burn a bunch of shit.
Billy doesn't.
It's fucking dumb. No, but hang on. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I say that, but I also don't think it was as big of a deal as most people think. Because here's the thing. What happens to the criminal mind when they realize that there's a massive political protest happening? Do all of the members of the local thieves guild be like, well, there's a protest going on, so we can't go thieving. It might make the protesters look bad. Somehow I don't think that's really in their mind, you know? I think more
That
than
happened
likely
here
they're
in
gonna take
Bellevue. There were protesters, and then there were people from other parts of the area that came in and kicked in the glass at the local mall.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what happened in Chicago. They were protesters, and then they were literally professional thieves who rented U-Hauls and took the U-Hauls around and robbed it. It's like, yeah, it sucks.
Right.
There's always going to be people
Very
taking advantage of it.
opportunistic.
Yeah, people, and it's like, yeah, you kind of wish these people cared more about the movement than about robbing shit. But like, I've been to a bunch of protests in New York, and they're all incredibly peaceful. And something that a protest leader said that's kind of stuck with me is he said nobody likes riots, but it kind of seems like the only time you listen to black people is when something's burning. And I heard that, and I was kind of like, "Oh, that's a very well-spoken point, sir." Like, it's you know, there are no easy answers here.
Right. Absolutely. And there's way too many people who will just kind of they make a black or white kind of scenario, and they try and pin you to it, like, oh, you're for the protest, you're for looting and arson and murder, and it's disgusting. It's stupid. And you know, honestly, because people make those stupid shitty arguments, I want to say, yeah, I fucking am. Okay.
Oh my
Burn it all
God!
fucking down.
We have to say this right now. Right now, we have to say this. Congratulations to Joe. He's a new daddy as of last night. Joe is a daddy now. Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
what?
Yep.
There's a brand new baby.
A baby Joe, a little Joe girl.
A little baby girl living in the house.
Amazing. Amazing. Congratulations, buddy.
Yep. Sorry for I just heard him
No.
talking about it, and yeah.
That's way better. That's awesome, dude.
Hey, I want to play Jackbox. Can we play some Jackbox
Joe,
now?
can you send your dick to Asterios really quick, please?
Don't do that.
Does anybody want to buy an iPhone? I have a dick pic on it, and I need to get rid of it forever.
We'll probably play some Jackbox on the after show.
Yeah, probably.
I'm going to have to read off the
do that.
super chats. The super chats and Streamlabs from the night. We started off with Eduardo Garcia giving us a big old love, starting the tip train. Mike Phone 123 said, I love the story about Jim's pet rat. I don't know that story.
Jim Cornette, I assume. I don't know the story.
Yeah, I think Jim Cornette. Stoned Mexican guy said what he said about Arby's, and then responded with, Billy es un pan dulce con mantequilla y cajete de chivo. He said I'm a sweet bun with like a caramel topping, a caramel drizzle. Scott es un perrito muy chulo, habla mi papacito. He says that Scott is a hot doggy, and he's daddy. He's stoned Mexican guy's daddy. And then he says Asterios es bien peludo, el necesita manscapes. That means Asterios is a furry that needs his pubes altered for the better.
Yeah, all the barbershops are closed. I don't know what you want from me. I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn forest fire down there. I know.
Pokemon's master asks, is BENPAI drinking Cornette urine? His beverage in that jar did look like a urine jar, but I'm pretty sure it's either a pineapple or apple cider. It could have also been kombucha. I'm not sure. Alagas says, das donos más pesos for Sweet Boys, por favor. Give more of those donos, give more money to the Sweet Boys forever. The Cinephiliac says, what it do? I'm dual-wielding Long Island iced teas and cough syrup. All hail the Watcher. Cinephiliac, that sounds gorgeous. Break here gave us a little love. Kilo gave us some big love. Thank you again, Kilo. Pokemon's master says Cornette resigned from NWA on his own terms. No firings. He just got sick of apologizing for political incorrectness. Yeah. Larry Hill says, more wrestling talk, please. Oh, did we deliver? Mr. Q gave us some big love, saying Asterios is the best guess.
Thank you.
Eduardo Garcia gave us some big love, saying that Jim Cornette was still on screen. And then we left Jim Cornette, and Eduardo Garcia gave us more big love, saying, can we go back to Jim Cornette now? And then Eduardo Garcia came back and said, what kind of fucking production is this? Come on, Jenna. What the fuck? About Jenna Jameson's apology tour. Toasty Marsh says it's only funny. Is it only funny? Not just whether the joke is, but what the joke is about. For example, stereotypes are not funny. Yeah, stereotypes are not funny. Alagas said, were the Klingons blackface? I mean, they were supposed to be aliens, not black people. Well, what do you think, Jeffrey?
No, okay, so I don't know. Somebody sent me a random clip, and it was the debut of the Shockmaster.
Yes.
I've never seen that before.
It's the
funny.
greatest wrestling clip of all time.
It's funny.
And I can speak about Klingons real quick while you guys pull up the Shockmaster clip. I think the Klingons is it's one of the few roles that you can guarantee we're going to hire really cool black actors
now
in sci-fi. You know what I mean? Yeah. Most sci-fi up until recently has been entirely white people or 90% white people, and it's kind of cool that they get these meaty ass roles as Chancellor Gowron or what was the name of the guy from Deep Space Nine? General Martok. I like it.
You know what?
He was white though.
You know the guy who played Garrick was the bad guy in the Clint Eastwood movies.
Oh, I was gonna say in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
No, he was the bad guy in Dirty Harry. He was the original.
I did not know that.
Yes, Garrick was the original Dirty Harry bad
Garrick.
guy.
I didn't know that at all. I was thinking about how Quark is also the principal in season 1 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that about Garrick though. That's dope.
I went to the big Star Trek con in Vegas the one year, and they had literally everyone there. Everyone was there.
I'm so jealous.
You know, I really want to go. I want to go on the Star Trek cruise one day.
I know. I was thinking about the Voyager cruise.
Yeah.
I don't even like
Dude, just come to the con
in
just go to the con in Vegas every summer. It's literally, I met Patrick Stewart, Michael Dorn, Brent Spiner, literally the entire TNG
the real
cast.
Brent Spiner?
Yes.
Is it the real
Brent
Spiner?
I took a picture of him eating a sandwich and sent it to Gail, and she said it was a clone.
Oh, well, there's a clone. What do you have against cruises, Ben? I feel like you would love cruises.
You can accomplish more. Well, I want to go on that AEW Jericho cruise for sure.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll even have cruises
So it's
anymore.
not that I have something against cruising. I'm saying, if you want to meet all the stars from Star Trek, just go to the Las Vegas con. There's no.
I guarantee you, you're gonna be more likely to run into somebody on a
you're
cruise,
not.
though.
You're not, because a lot of them don't want to be stuck on a boat with a bunch of people for days. They want to come in, do their thing, and leave.
Do they leave the cruise? How do they leave the cruise?
They can't. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so they're going to be talking to everybody on the cruise.
No, they won't do the cruise.
Yeah.
They won't do the cruise because they don't want to be stuck on a boat for days. When in Vegas, they can fly in for one day of autographs and pictures and leave.
Who
later
wants
that
autographs
night.
and pictures? I'd rather have a conversation with Quark from Orc than Captain Kirk.
Well, first of all, it's not
signing my
Quark
paper.
from Orc.
I don't know. Mork
All
from
right,
Orc?
then don't show up, buddy.
Wow.
Don't show up. You're not one of us.
Wow,
okay?
look at Ben.
You're not one of us.
Look at Ben.
I heard that the AEW that Jericho's recent cruises are most Jericho's
All right.
next cruise is already sold out.
I'm decreeing it right now. I'm going to show Billy Star Trek Picard.
I'm not watching it.
Oh, but we're going to do it during paid time on the show.
I don't get paid for post shows. I get paid for main shows. I'll
Well,
just leave.
Don't show him Star Trek.
No, you can't leave.
I'll just you can pay me extra to watch it.
You can't leave. And
Asterios, how do you feel about Picard?
It's
He's gonna
just
like
not, It's just not a good first Star Trek experience.
Yeah.
Like, you should show him the amazing episodes of Next Generation. Star Trek Picard is only good if you already like Star Trek.
I want to start Billy off with Picard to see what.
Don't do that.
It's not happening.
He's our friend.
No,
I
it's
know,
gonna
dude.
be part of our extra review experience.
No, it's not happening.
I
They're
like
very short.
I hate Star Trek Discovery and I hate Star Trek Picard, but Star Trek Picard at least
Picard's
is so
better than
incredibly-
Discovery
because it's
You
so
told me that you
incredibly
never
bad.
watched Discovery.
Well, me, I've watched like
Yeah.
2 episodes and I was like, I can't do it, dude. I can't.
Yeah, at least you
Uh,
tried.
But
I
I mean,
tried to.
Picard is so bad, it's fun. I really enjoy watching it now because it's such a dumpster fire. And if it wasn't Star
I think
Trek,
it's the
if it was,
best
like, totally
continuation of
different-
the original Star Trek timeline.
You're just fucking with.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Continuation of the original Star Trek.
I love how there's Soji. There's Soji.
He's getting by. He's getting by on like a fucking technicality. He thinks you're not gonna notice it.
There's
It's the
Soji.
only-
What?
What an ass. Star Trek Picard is like dumber Firefly.
I love how there's Soji. What?
It is, dude.
Dumber Firefly. It's weird. But again, look, for me, I'm kind of just like, well, I like that this old man has something to do. But it's like a retirement. It's like when all the actors in a retirement home put on a play, and it's like, God bless them. They're not doing it to be famous. They're doing it to entertain themselves. And it's like,
Okay,
well,
there was Soji, and who was the other one, Jeff?
It's not it's Soji. It's not Shoji. It's Soji and Vosh.
Vosh? What?
Dodge.
All right, and how were they made?
They took the molecule from Data's brain, and they managed to, from one molecule, replicate his entire.
So at the end of the show, Picard died, and then what happened to him?
He got put into a golem, okay? He got put into a robot golem, which was supposed to be ironic for some because he's the most human of us. He's the most robot of us. Whatever. Look, Patrick Stewart got paid. Patrick Stewart got paid. I like Rios. I like Rios.
What, Rios? You mean Han Solo 2.0 with all the holograms? Yeah, I like him too. He's great.
I think he's very entertaining. And I also like Brent Spiner's creepy evil scientist.
Dude, do you like how Data?
God.
Do you like how Data was hidden on a computer hard drive for generations? Isn't that cute?
Yeah, it's
By
fine.
the way,
And then he was like, "I'm ready to die, John Luke."
It was fine.
So,
Good. That scene was good.
Did it make you tear up a little bit?
I did. Of course I yes. Look, I don't know if this is a weird that was a good scene.
Bear Bunny said on this day 11 years ago, the world lost its fucking mind because some white lady overdosed on propofol. R.I.P. MJ, they can never truly cancel you. That catches us up with all of our Streamlabs. From here on out, if you're going to mention Star Trek in a Streamlab, it has to be $100 or above. Because we're not going to go on a 40-minute nerd con for a $5 dono ever again.
Soji.
I have, unfortunately, it's almost 11 o'clock. I gotta go. You mind if I plug my show before I get out of here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, please do.
Just because I'm being so loud, I don't want to wake up my girlfriend. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everyone for all your great donations. If you want more from me, you can listen to my show, The Loudest Podcast. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, it's on iTunes, it's on Google Play Music, it's everywhere. You search for The Loudest Podcast, and if you want bonus episodes, you can go to patreon.com/Asterios to find, wait, where's the, there we go, you go to patreon.com/Asterios to find them. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you.
Let's text or DM or something about tomorrow night, because I'd love to hang out.
Awesome.
It'll be a
Asterios,
good time.
Goose Juice says that he wants more Persona 5. Damn it.
I was just playing Persona 5 today, and a girl committed suicide, and I was horrified.
What?
Yeah, Persona 5 is this fucking game that all these kids love, and it's just horrifying to play.
Wow.
I was doing Autonautica because those kids found the dead bodies.
Randonautica?
Or Randonautica, yeah. Because of all the kids found those bodies on Alki Beach, but I didn't find any bodies.
Dude, did you see what happened with it?
No.
There's some weird conspiracy shit. I don't know if it's been debunked yet.
Well, I heard someone try to link it to like some shit down in Tacoma, like on Defiance Point, but I don't think that's related.
Well, there is a whole. Now I feel like maybe we should
Point
talk
Defiance,
about this.
rather.
I don't.
I mean, we're not done, but we have to let Asterios go.
Yeah,
before we
Asterios,
talk
you
about
got
it.
to go.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
Love you, Asterios.
Bye.
Sweet boy extraordinaire. Let me see if I can find this real quick.
Somebody in the live chat was saying that Soji and Daj were cloned from one of Data's positronic neurons, and that's true. But if you go back and you watch that same fucking episode later, they don't say positronic neuron; they say cloned from a single positron.
And
I
I find it interesting how Data's like gold skin children are like envious of the like more organic looking children.
Yeah, that's Androidist or some shit.
Yeah. And then she killed the one and tore their eye out.
That was fucked up. That was wait,
You know what?
My favorite.
Honestly, that show.
Favorite part
I
of the
mean,
whole
like the
series is?
production of it isn't so bad, right? You know the actress that played Dodge is going to be at Emerald City Comic Con in August.
Right on. If it happens, like I think I want to go up for that.
I
It'd be
have a
cool.
press pass for it. I was going to go and like get to meet all of them. Yeah.
We gotta go. No, it'd be cool. I don't know, man. I think my favorite part of that whole show was when their plan involved an exploding soccer ball. That was the best. That was the best part of that whole show. As far as the production value, I don't know, man. It was okay. It's very dimly, darkly lit. Okay, there's, please, for the love of fucking God, TV and movies both. Can everything stop being so dark? I get it could be like sinister.
Dude, I
or
felt
dark
that way when the
tones.
Tim Burton Batman came out.
Even
and
that
I was
is
like
colorful by
9 years
today's
old.
standards.
Or the Christopher Nolan Batman.
That was really
The
dark.
last-
Which is more dark, like dimly lit? Like we watched the first one a few months ago.
I think Christopher Nolan's
Really?
is darker.
Because I felt like the Tim Burton one, because the Tim Burton one was dimly lit but cartoony, like bright colored.
Yeah, we have Marvel to look at compared to
And-
DC, and DC's stuff's
Yeah.
always kind of darker
At the time,
dimly lit.
the first
Here's the
Batman
thing,
movie
though.
was the Tim Burton Batman movie was the first like big cinematic comic book movie, right?
Right. Well, sort of.
There was like a 70s Spider-Man that was trash. Like most of it was trash. The first Batman movie, 1989, got good reviews and it was a big production.
It was, but the subsequent like Batman Forever and then
Oh my God.
Batman Returns.
Who was it? Did
well,
Schumacher
fourth
take
one?
over for that?
Joel Schumacher.
Didn't he just die
Schumacher.
recently?
Yeah, he died at 80.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That set back comic movies quite a bit. But that's not what I mean. I don't mean like dark necessarily in that like the Dark Knight trilogy by Christopher Nolan. Yeah, it's dark. In
It went
tone,
down.
it's
Hold on.
dark in
Here's
color.
the big
But-
problem.
but hang on. But
Okay,
the
go ahead.
framing of it, the way they actually make it, and the usage of light is very smart and it's very poignant. It makes the movie pop. It's really good. The last 50 minutes of Avengers Endgame is one big non-color pile of shit.
It's the end
It
of
looks awful.
Return of the King.
You see, yeah, same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just tired of
Let's
these
squeeze
crap-
another
and
hour out of this like 2-page dialogue.
Endgame was great.
Picard does that too. Picard does it too. Everything is just a big, ugly mess, and it looks like
It's a
shit.
masterpiece.
Endgame was great.
And you know what? I'll tell
It
you
was
what.
great, but
I'm
it
very
looks like
glad
shit.
that Will Wheaton got to host the podcast that encapsulates each episode. Have you seen that? It's pretty awesome.
I can only take the joke so far, Benjamin. You know what we should do sometime though? We should watch clips from the Will Wheaton Project. Do you remember that show?
Yes.
It is probably the most cringe-inducing fucking thing ever put on television.
I'll
It
tell
is
you what.
really funny.
You guys down there in Eugene better hope football season doesn't happen this year.
Oh, yeah, why?
Because Ohio State is invading your town and we're going to fucking destroy you in one fell swoop. Just wait till you see how much red is in your fucking stadium. Just wait.
You can't really like bait me with that, Ben. Like I'm
not trying to
excited.
bait
That'd be
you.
Awesome. That'd be an awesome game, and you and I would get to watch a football game together.
It's like me saying water is wet.
Okay, Ben, sure.
Infinity War was really
Hey,
good.
we played for the national championship 5 years ago.
Yeah, we did, and you guys won, and it was
pretty
and it was
good.
a great. It was a great fucking game. It was a great game. I loved it.
Yeah.
You can bait me about Star Trek. You can bait me about the
I'm not trying to
food.
bait you. I'm
cannot-
just telling you.
You cannot bait me about the fucking football, dude. Nah, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Yes.
You bait me all the time.
We will win.
I love Will Wheaton.
Get off. You do? Do you? What do you like the most about Will Wheaton?
He's a gamer dude. And when he goes to conventions, he doesn't charge for autographs like everybody else does. He just signs them because he's a good guy. Good guy,
That is-
Will.
Is it because of that or because nobody will pay for it?
I mean, I don't know. He gets long lines at PAX. He goes to PAX for free, hangs out, plays video games, plays tabletop games, has a good time, signs autographs for free, sits around with all the other fucking nerds. Talks. Yeah, he's down to earth nerd.
I don't know him personally. I don't like a lot of his takes, but I don't have a problem with him.
I don't give a fuck about someone's takes. If I did, I wouldn't be talking to Onision.
True.
You don't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, he had some terrible fucking takes, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. He's fucking kind of crazy. He's kind of crazy, but he pays for my Olive Garden, so what can I say?
I love the one where you like. I love the one where you like. You and him went to Olive Garden or some spaghetti restaurant, and he walked away and you ordered meat sauce. And you're like, "This is some Nishan's lasagna. Look at these big meat chunks."
Yeah.
He picked through it and put like big meat chunks in. He's like, "This is some Nishan's lasagna."
Yeah. I dosed him with some meat.
Funny.
Yep. Dude, he got really
great.
like the one time he came on with the old DP cast with us. Some guy showed up because we had a burger eating contest, and a guy from Creek. Damn it! It's a burger place here in Seattle. It's Kid Valley. Kid
Valley?
Yeah. He was a manager at a Kid Valley location. So he gave us all like free burgers, and I told him, I was like, Onision's gonna be there, and he doesn't eat meat. He's like, I'll bring him a veggie burger. But Onision was really afraid that we were gonna try to like act. But he ate it because like he could tell it was fake meat.
Yeah.
So, but he was like really concerned about it.
He's funny.
That was at the height, like that was before Onision like really got afraid of what shit was going on with him. He mellowed out with us though too. Like,
yeah,
I saw a side. Like, I'm not saying he's a good guy. I'm not saying everything he did was right. But we mellowed out with Onision and hung out with him a couple times, and he was all right. Like just face to face. But he was oddly defensive when he was here, and I think that was because the Sarah shit was starting to blow up at that point.
I don't know if it had blown up yet, but
He kind of like backhandedly like unfollowed me like out of nowhere.
You were talking some shit on Twitter about it.
No, that was before that. I talked shit after he unfollowed me, and then he blocked me.
Okay.
That's the timeline of that. Like, he unfollowed me. I'm like, fuck you. I'm talking shit. And then he was like, oh, well, now I'm blocking you. But he still doesn't he still doesn't claim our videos here on this channel.
Sweet boy.
That's nice.
Well, he loves the Bill Fridge.
I don't think he does.
I think he does.
I don't
know.
To be honest,
I think he still has a soft spot. Do you see how he has like porno? Because now he fingers his butt on OnlyFans for money. Did you know this?
Yeah.
And now he's got like the Freddie Mercury going on. Does he have
really?
AIDS? Yeah. Does he have AIDS?
I don't think he does.
Oh.
I don't think he does. Will Wheaton was awesome in The Guild.
No, he was good in what was it? Stand By Me or The Lost Boys?
He was in Stand By Me.
Stand By Me.
Yeah.
That him, when they started the Next Generation, him and LeVar Burton was in Roots.
Yeah.
They were the biggest actors on that show when they
Yeah.
first started. Dude, it's such a great show. All right, I'm gonna make an arrangement with Billy where me and him have to watch TNG.
I don't want to. I watched some episodes of TNG when I was a kid.
We're gonna watch them chronologically. There's only like over 100 of them.
I know. TNG's not bad. I like TNG. When I was a kid, I enjoyed it. My dad would call me number one all the
you're
time.
such a Hollywood apologist. You probably like Picard too.
Maybe.
For what it is, there's a lot of like big like action scenes in it.
It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
But Billy's a Hollywood apologist. Ask him like any movie that you think sucked that came out recently. Chances are he liked it.
Gods of Egypt.
I didn't see it.
Okay.
Wait, no, there was that movie that Jeff liked that I thought was a shithole with Kristen Stewart and Cthulhu.
Oh, Underwater.
Yeah, Underwater was fucking. I thought it was a shitter, and you liked it.
I did like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it.
I laughed all the way through it because of how shitter it was. I was like, no, shut the fuck up. And then when Cthulhu came out, I was like, okay.
I like underwater sci-fi or like that kind of. I like. Set
Did you like
design that's really good
Sequest?
too. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
You like underwater sci-fi?
Yeah, but I mean sci-fi horror.
Oh,
horror.
Because Sequest was like Star Trek underwater, and they had a talking dolphin.
Sure. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like horror, but it has to be. Like, I don't know. It got kind of tense. Like The Abyss is great. Leviathan is
I remember
great.
The
Deep Star
Abyss.
6. Fucking Sphere. I like all that kind of shit, man. And Underwater was just perfect for me too. So, I mean, whether it's like objectively a good movie or not, I just enjoy it. It does something for me. you know?
Yeah, no, it's fine. I didn't hate it, but I think I found myself talking shit about it the whole way through, so I can't remember how much I liked it or not. I remember leaving and being like, this is a fucking shit movie. But like we were like looking up IMDb during it, trying to explain why things were happening. Like, wait a second, what happened here? Why is this? Who funded this? Is this George Soros? Is this George Soros funded
definitely.
this movie? But I don't know. We'll probably go to Twitch.
Yeah,
Go to
in a
Twitch
minute
TV.
here.
Go to Twitch TV.
Twitch.tv/drunkenpeasants. 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 Everyone should go there right now because it simultaneously moves to the other channel.
Can you please lower the view count requirement on media donos? I can't get anything to play for some reason, even with 25,000 views, just get an error message. We don't have media donos on the show.
I may have set it up at one point, but
we don't
I
really have media
yeah.
donos. I don't know. We've never accepted them. I've never noticed them come through.
I normally do them on IRL streams and shit, but we are going. Hold on, give me like 10 minutes to set this up.
C-Lab 2021 is better than Sequest. I agree.
C-Lab underneath the water.
C-Lab under. I don't know what that is.
At the bottom of the sea.
I gotta say though, like I don't think even when it, I don't think I could have been chill hanging out with Onision in real life. Like the times that he hung out with you guys, like you guys, a whole crew and everything like that. I think I'd be too tempted to fuck with him the whole time. I don't think I'd be mean to him, but I think I'd be fucking with him. Oh, did you?
I mean, like lightly.
He'd probably beat your ass.
Oh wow.
He'd probably just beat your ass.
He's not really much more built than I am.
Oh, dude,
Not
he's
really.
got a vegetarian body. No, I don't think he would fight. I think he'd be like, "Wow, you're kind of an asshole."
Oh my god,
and
you're
then
kind of
never
like a handsome guy.
Never talk
from Game
about
of
you again, or
Thrones.
make 1,000 videos about you.
Yeah.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Well,
I don't
Ollie
know.
Socks is based at Red Pill.
He is based.
I'm
in
buddies
Red
with
Pill.
Lolly Socks now, by the way. Me and Lolly
That's
Socks.
awesome. Have you seen his? Have you touched his dick yet?
I asked him how many one-handed push-ups he can do, but he hasn't
What'd he
answered
say?
that yet. He hasn't revealed that secret to me.
So when are we going to start an ARC server for for
Today.
DC people.
I don't
Today?
know. I'm ready.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. I was. It sounded like you wanted to do it, so I was like, all right.
I don't know how to do it, but I haven't. I've been busy.
I got a guy who will do it, but then you were like, maybe I should just do it. I'm like, well, then okay, you just do it then. All right,
I think we're
we'll
getting
figure
lost
that
in
out.
translation here.
I think we did. I'll text you and like after after you guys
we'll
are all
figure
done
it
tonight.
out.
We'll figure it out.
I
Yeah,
will
we'll figure it
play
out.
some
Because now you put it in my fucking head, and like every morning I wake up and I'm like, man, I just kind of want a down tempo, chill like.
I just
want
to kill some dinosaurs.
No, I just want to go harvest some shit while I'm drinking my coffee and waking up and shit. And I see Ark on my computer. I'm like, yeah, but I can't play it yet.
I'm gonna share a lot of this shit on social media really quick before we go off the air, because that helps me save a lot of time, and I'll have time to pee. Because sometimes I'm sharing it while it's going live, and then I have to like run away and pee, and it's really hard.
You could just leave the microphone on, and I could talk while the screen's black.
No, because you'll convert everyone
It
to
would
your
just-
religion.
I could have This Is the Blank Time with Billy the Fridge.
The blank time. The
You're
blank
here
time
with
with
the blank
Billy.
time with
Double
Billy the
B, 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 B.
Fridge. Benjamin's taking a urine. We'll be back in a moment's notice.
Damn, now that you
We'll
explained
be
it that way.
Right back. I'll just do that the whole time.
After these messages, you know what?
Be right back.
Out of spite against the quartering, I watched the Netflix She-Ra, and it's actually very good.
You liked it?
It is, dude. It's great.
It's actually very good.
It's actually really good. It's a really good fucking cartoon. Jeremy Hambeast is a fucking moron, dude. No, he's a fucking dumb shit. The whole reason he didn't like it had nothing to do with the show. The show was actually pretty fucking good. I can't even relate with people like that. It wasn't just She-Ra either. There were other people that went fucking absolutely bazonkers ape shit about like the Thundercats reboot. Didn't somebody like kill somebody?
I'll tell you
because they
what.
hated the
I thought the
Thundercats cartoon?
I didn't like the Thundercats reboot because I thought the animation looked dumb. That's it.
Well, it did look dumb.
He used to stream Magic
It
the
looked too
Gathering
cartoony.
cards.
I like the more realistic animation with the Thundercats. I'm sorry.
He used to stream Magic the Gathering cards way back on the day on Twitch when I was streaming Magic the
It has
Gathering cards
nothing to do
on
with
Twitch.
politics. It has to do
Sure.
with like I want the Thundercats to look like comic book characters. I don't want them to look like little cartoons like that.
So I experienced this not this long ago. I was thinking about the original Thundercats. This is even before the new one came out, and I was like, "Damn, that really was a good show. I should watch that again." So I put on an episode, and I see the intro and like the title screen. I'm like, "Wow, yeah,
It was poorly
dude,
thrown
it's-
together.
No. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's just like how I remember this. The animation is so cool. And then the animation actually starts. Like the episode actually starts.
It was thrown
Holy
together.
fuck. It's really bad. Really bad. The animation on the original Thundercats.
Not
is
on the
really-
intro. The intro was epic as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, perfect. But yeah, the actual episodes are so fucking just terrible.
All right, we are gonna move on to the post show. We are gonna go live there simultaneously. We're gonna switch over. Here we go. We are over here. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants Podcast.
Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. From the strangest corners of the internet, gonna get TP'd by Billy and Ben. You know where you can find them at. Get ready, cause they're gonna kick your... Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants. Drunken Peasants.